extra Scuff.
It multiplies. It stacks.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Team Jacked podcast. I am going to do a quick check to make sure my mic is working. Yes, hello! I am your host, Raymond McNeil, and joining me, as always, is the wonderful Twilight Guardian.
Hello.
And the animated Kaiser Shonen.
2 frames, you know, that's kind of I mean, that works, honestly. But yeah, how y'all doing?
And joining us today, you may notice we have quite the cast assembled today. We have almost the entire lead production team of RWBY, Dust Queen, with us. I do not feel qualified to announce you guys, so I'm going to start off with Sai and let you guys carry it from there. Please introduce yourselves for the chat.
Oh gosh, I'm going first. That's spooky. Hi, I'm Sai. I'm the big furry on the screen. I was also conveniently the director of Dust Queen, and it has nothing to do with my furry ability, appearance, whatever. I wrote, directed Dust Queen. I'm also the biggest White Rose stan, if it's not obvious in the episode, which if it's not, I must have failed my job as a director.
Yeah, no, Pride Month too. Tisk tisk.
Yeah, they gotta be gay on Pride Month, man. I didn't write the rules.
Who wants to announce themselves next?
I'll go. Hey, I'm Garlic Gizmo. I am the rigging and dev lead for Dust Queen. So I add all the controls that help the characters move so the animators can work their magic. Done a lot of dev stuff behind the scenes for compositing and physics and stuff, character modeling, other bits and bobs, that good stuff.
Witchcraft, I'd say.
Yes.
I mean, honestly.
The wizard of the group. He's the mage of the cast.
Yeah.
You know him well. His coconut ass will kick some... I don't know.
What?
You said you know him well. You know him well. It got me stuck on the freaking DK theme song.
Right, okay.
I guess I'll go next. Hi, I'm Farah. I'm a lead animator on Dust Queen, as well as, I guess, community manager and a couple of bits and bobs of organizational stuff. So yeah, happy to be here.
Hey, I'm Rocket, episode 1 lead animator. I did a lot of early pipeline development stuff with Garlic when we were starting out. Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
And I'm Hannah. I'm the lead music composer, so I make the drums go bang and the guitars go wow wow.
Oh wow wow, real good wow wow.
Yeah, very nice.
It's like passingly decent wow wow. Like, you know, let's not...
No, it's not bro. Yeah. I will get you.
Watch out.
Consistently, one of the biggest praises I hear or should I say one of the more background praises for the original RWBY is the background music, and people have said that you've nailed the feeling of that more than anything. So that's definitely worth a lot of praise.
Nah, it was really good. I really like the tracks that you had in that episode. It works really well.
You're just gonna hit me with these compliments right off the bat. What is wrong with you?
Yeah,
welcome.
That is what we do.
No, thank you so much.
No, we brought you here just to roast you guys, to be fair. Okay.
Good.
Hey.
I need a bigger table. Yes, I need a bigger table. I need a bigger freaking airship.
Yeah, this is like the biggest the largest amount of guests we've had on the show so far.
Absolutely.
It really is.
Well,
Digimon is on my head today. It's Rabbitmon.
Is it a dire rabbit? Or die
Yes.
rabbit?
I don't know.
Rabbitmon. Sorry. Shugokata has just destroyed my ability to say diamond in the short form.
Oh, it's Dia Rabbit.
I mean, in Japanese it's
like a
Rabbit,
diamond.
but
I
in
thought it
English
meant
it's Die Rabbit.
Dia as in diorama and rabbit.
I thought it might have been diet, like it was, you know, going on a kale crush. But yes, for those of you who don't know, and anyone that is a fan of RWBY on this channel, how
Why
have
are
you
you
not
here?
heard about Dust Queen? Like, it has been, it's already over 200,000 views, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we hit 250,000 today, which is amazing. Thank you
Good
guys.
shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Absolutely, probably the biggest RWBY fan launch ever. I want to say that, like, you are easily the
Yeah.
most popular RWBY
Maybe.
fan project right now.
I think it's in recent times. Like I always kind of think back to the silver trailers and was it 30 or 60 days trailers, but I definitely think in modern RWBY it's probably one of the biggest launches.
Yeah.
And honestly, not for nothing, y'all did a really good job with the episode overall. I don't know if that, that's shared among the rest of us, but I definitely think so.
Oh yeah, no, it's a solid episode. I should know. I'm actually on the cast.
Yeah, so
Thank
you're
you.
kind of captured, aren't you?
Well, I'm a little biased. I'm a little biased.
Yeah, we paid you to say that.
Ah, yeah.
Feel so unprofessional right now
$12.75.
because-
It's in the mail. Wait,
I
these
feel
are
so unprofessional
euros.
because I think I'm the only one that hasn't watched it. I'm sorry. I thought we were gonna watch the episode on stream.
Well, we kind of are. I mean, to be fair, this was this completely blew up in terms of a podcast when Sai was. I know. I was just like, "Hey, Sai, you wanna hop on and join us to talk about it?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, sure. I can get the rest of the development crew." And I'm like, "Sure, why not? let's just do
I
it."
kind of jumped them all on you, and then you're like, and I was like, oh, too many? I was like, no, it's fine.
We'll roll with it.
I didn't know.
I always worry about having enough just substance. No, I feel like you guys are going to have enough commentary because I
Hey,
plan.
man,
Oh,
I didn't
Yeah.
build the episode. The team built the episode. It wouldn't be fair to come on here without them. So
that's true,
Oh, sure.
Aw.
but you can't
Yeah.
rule out yourself, which actually leads pretty nicely into an opening question. What was the inspiration behind doing any of this to begin with?
So, as in starting Dust Queen as a production, or Dust Queen as a general idea?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool. Okay. Rolling on then.
So,
So, Dust Queen initially kind of started as like a fan AU of a fan AU, which is weird because now there's fan AUs of my fan AU, which is really Inception. But
it's okay.
it started from a comic from an artist on Twitter on Tumblr called Kuma from Taiwan. They had a comic back in the early days of the show called Henceforward, and that lived rent-free in my brain, and then Kuma left the fandom and never finished it, and that hurt. So on a pure spite, rage-filled event, I drew out this Wiess design, and it kind of, I think I drew it out, I think this year would be 8 or 9 years ago, I think, at this point.
Wow.
And I've been building it for a while. There was a fan fiction originally that did decently well, I'd say, but it kind of became a bit of an emotional gut punch fest because I wasn't going through the best mental state at the time, and unfortunately it did reflect. So I ended up taking a step back for a while, and I ended up coming back and writing out scripts and stuff. And I was like, oh, I'm going to republish I'm going to go republish the fan fiction. Let me make an animated trailer for the fan fiction. And then it just kind of spirals. But the concept for the animated trailer came after working on OVA 2 with Cake Station and Cake Station's crew. There was a hollow after that, and I wanted something to work on, and Dust Queen was just kind of next on the plate. And then it just kind of exploded, and here we are 2 years later.
It sounds so tired. Which I guess I completely
Sleep's a
get.
suggestion in the last few weeks.
No, that's fair.
Yeah,
So
kind of kidnapped Sky.
Yeah, I got adopted.
Yoink.
so how did the rest of you get involved exactly? What was your either impetus to get involved, or how did you get kidnapped? However you want to phrase it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think around when Volume 9. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, go, no, you, sir.
All right. Yeah, I think around when Volume 9 was coming out, I was just super inspired. Engrossed I was, and I wanted to see if I could try my hand at making some stuff myself. I've been doing 3D stuff for quite a while, but never anything nearly this involved before. So I started like making my own character rigs and doing some short animated stuff, and I was seeing what other people were sort of doing around the fandom, and I had seen that Sai was working on something that seemed kind of big, and then she reached out to me because I had posted how I made a really in-depth face rig based on the one that they use to make the real show, and she definitely kidnapped me to work on all the rigging stuff. And
You've been
Yeah,
drafted.
it was funny because I have logs from when I was initially building assets for Dusk Queen, and it was like, I think it's something along the lines of, I'm gonna kidnap this person or die trying. And, like,
we need to
it
kidnap this
was,
person immediately. I have that saved.
yeah. That was, and then we kidnapped them, and he's mine now. We've collected them like Pokemon.
You
Mine now.
do that like I was trying to kidnap Smaller Soul for my own individual project for Stellar Sentinels, and you guys got to him first. I'm saying, I'm like,
be fair,
damn.
Listen,
Well,
you
to be
gotta be
fair-
quicker than that. It's just business. It's
just business, man. It's just business. But to be fair, Soul came to us initially, like DM'd me, and said, "Hey, I'd love to do some sound effects and maybe some compositing." And I was like, "Yeah, sure." I mean, I was going to do the compositing, but yeah, like let's do some sound effects and some compositing. And then ended up becoming our sound and sound design lead within a couple of months. It was kind of, I mean, it's weird because you join the project with Dusk Queen, it starts off small, and then somehow everyone just slides into bigger roles. I don't know how it keeps happening.
I mean, hey, at least you can't say they don't want to work with you.
And
Well, that's what they tell me, at least, anyway, so...
the
Oh man.
oh yeah.
Oh
you
yeah,
go.
I just I wanted to go right after Garlic because Garlic is the kind of the reason why I'm here. So there was God, this was like a year and a half ago. He was posting fan animations on Twitter when I still had a Twitter. And I mean this was also after Volume 9, and I was just itching to animate the girls. Like I had always wanted to work on RWBY. And it's why I got into 3D animation in the first place. And so when I heard that there was a hiatus, I got wind of Rooster Teeth sort of crewing down, and I was getting a little bit nervous. But when I saw like fan accurate rigs, I was like, I went into his DMs and I was just like, hey, are you gonna, can I try those rigs, please? But like way more professional sounding, I promise. And he was like, no, actually, they're just for personal use. Like, and I understand that. I fully understand that. That's why like we're very protective of the rigs with Dusk Queen. But then I was like, okay, hey, actually, I am a professional though, and I like slid over my demo reel like a business card across the table, and then everything happened really quickly.
Yeah, it sounds like they have that kidnapping down to a science.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, listen. After the first two, then we got things down.
As soon as the business card was across the table, the chloroform was already over the mouth. It was just like it just
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Accurate representation. We had like a video of someone did a video of the edit in the public Discord where it's like, once you join, there will be no going back. It's like this big, long, lifelong suggestion, very serious. And then it's like, are you up for that? And they go, nod. And it's like, great, welcome to the team.
Alrighty.
For me, it was I think I saw the first teaser at some point in the mutual RWBY groups, and I was like, hey, that looks pretty sick. And it's like they have animations. I do animations. Why not put those together? And then I think I spam email message Sai being like, yo, hey, let me in. And then one thing led to another, and I'm in. I'm here.
You're in. You're here.
As for me, I've been playing music like in different forms for a long time, whether it's like live performance or concert bands or whatever. But for like a long time, I was just kind of like learning recording and kind of like I was putting out my own albums and stuff, but like not like joining any projects or anything. And then I saw the first teaser and I was immediately like, I don't know what this is. I don't know who this is, but whatever this is, I want to put music under it. But at the time there was already like music in the score and it was original in the video and it was original. So I was like, oh, they already got somebody, but I'll follow along anyway. And as time went on, there was never any mention of like somebody specifically doing like score. And eventually there was a Q&A video where I was like, okay, if they mention a composer here, I'm going to give up. And you didn't say anything about background score. So I was like, this is my chance. And so I like, over the next 2 days, put together a track. I sent it to Sai and I was like, I'm never going to hear anything back again. That was it. It was fun. And then an hour later, Sai was like, you're on the team. And so
It's kidnapping, bro. That's just how it works.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know. I feel like the last two weren't really kidnapping. They just kind of showed up one day and they just never left.
Yeah.
It just appeared.
Is it kidnapping when the door is open?
I mean, well,
we have these homeless people that just work here now. I don't know where they came from.
It's like feeding stray cats. It's like all of a sudden there's 12 at your door and you have to feed all of them. Like,
Right.
So,
You know.
getting a little more into, if you guys want, there is a watch together link in the important links in the server. If you click on that, you can hop in. I actually do have Dust Queen up on it, and that's what's being projected up on the screen. First thing I wanted to really ask about is this first frame that we get, which is a disclaimer about it not being made for kids. And I'm curious, what is the target demographic here? Because one thing that's interesting about RWBY is it feels like it doesn't itself know what its target demographic is.
so that's definitely something. For this episode, it doesn't really apply, but there's kind of two reasons for it. First of all, I don't like YouTube made for kids, and if it strikes me down, I will cry violently on the floor. And second of all, we are definitely going for a more mature episode or more mature kind of theme across Dust Queen. Like I'd say the rating would maybe be 15s or whatever that equates to in your local area, I suppose. It's definitely not as soft and mellow as the show is, I suppose, emotionally and tonally in some situations, but that the card at the start of the episode is to kind of help cover all of that when it comes. But it's important. I think it's important to have at the start of every episode.
Yeah, they
just
kind of have that
something.
preemptively.
Yeah.
So you don't really
Yeah.
get, have that. I mean, you already got locked, It's sort of like this is the non-profit fan-based parody, that kind of thing. You want that on lock at the start so you don't have to worry about doing it later.
You'll be surprised how many people still don't realize that it's a fan-made project sometimes.
Oh, absolutely.
No. For the past freaking week, that's been a lot of people's reactions on Twitter. So
I'm in a Little Witch Academia server, and some of the people in there were like, "Wait, is RWBY back?" They were just like, "I'm like, no,
Yeah.
it's a fan project. It's different."
You could say it, you could repeat it as many times as you want, but the second some people see it, it's like, "Oh, RWBY's back! I didn't know Rooster Teeth was still alive." And it's like, huh?
Make
Listen,
me
that's
say the
props
F
to
word.
y'all, to be honest.
No,
Yeah.
CJZZL. I don't think RWBY saying the F word is in the cards. Although probably in the bloopers. I don't know if you're gonna make a bloopers reel or not.
But yeah, I can say there will be cursing in it at some point from some characters, so it's not exactly going to be... RWBY doesn't say the F word, but that would be hilarious. Maybe she will say it just because I find that funny.
Maybe.
It could be a cutaway
Let her say
gag,
it.
like she says it, but like you cut away when she does, like at the end of an episode.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, we have canonized, Team Jacked has canonized RWBY saying fuck in RWBY Destiny. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. We got him.
No.
It's okay. She's like 17 in Dust Queen, just for numbers' sake, so... She's technically almost allowed to say it. She can have a slip up every now and then.
Oh, it still takes place in their second year, right?
Oh, I hate this question. Time is a soup.
Time
Please
is a
don't
soup.
I was gonna say that's why I wanted to ask the question. I knew you had such a struggle with it.
So like the problem is I'm an idiot, right? When I was writing the script for episode 1, I thought volume 2 was their second year of Beacon, and it was initially meant to be kind of a version of volume 2 that's canon adjacent, but I was humbly reminded on a rewatch after confirming and recording the dialogue for episode 1 that, hey, this is their second semester, not their second year. So that causes a whole bunch of problems logistically that we're still trying to fix in later episodes. But it will be fixed. So, like, timeline-wise, yeah, it's after Food Fight, it's after Paint the Town. I don't know if it's after Mountain Glen yet. We still have to figure that out. But it's kind of somewhere in that ballpark. Torchwick might not have been arrested, or he might have been arrested. We're not sure on that just yet, but we're getting there. But that's kind of roughly where it is time-wise.
I was gonna say, because I was watching it and I assumed it was gonna be in like the second semester, or at least like after the events of volume 2 and between that and volume 3, but I don't remember how much time it was between that.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Given episode 1, I take it Juniper's not appearing. I'm pretty sure you guys have plans. Maybe I don't want to assume.
So Dusk Queen is very Team RWBY based, so I won't say much, but Team Juniper will probably only ever get mentioned.
Oh.
However, there will be other characters that may get people excited instead. So
Yeah.
Honestly,
right.
kind of good, because like it's really difficult to have to juggle so many characters. And I'm a Digimon fan person, so like when I do fanfics and stuff, I have to juggle like 8 to 12 characters plus their Digimon. It's this real struggle.
yeah, and I wanted to explore the actual Team RWBY team connection, because a lot of the time, and even in the show, they kind of go from being complete and total strangers to best friends really, really quickly, which really bothers me. So I want to have a thing where it's just team bonding with just Team RWBY, because we haven't had that. Every time it's been just Team RWBY, Jean or Team Juniper has been there, and it's like, that's not just Team RWBY. You lied to me. I want to refund.
You lied to me.
I know.
Let the girls talk. Let the girls hang out.
We've been bamboozled,
my criticism of
hoodwinked,
the show,
and
too.
downright deceived.
See, Sky Slasher says
I don't
MK
care.
Legacy Collection LFG. I'm very excited for you. We were all, most of us were watching the state of play, I think, to some extent before this. Also, I forgot to read this out. We got a $5 chat before everything. Sorry for the cryptic super chat last time. I was referring to Anthony's Objective Critic video. It will annoy a certain man who is long much love. Yes, I figured as much.
Okay.
You made me worry about Ant. I don't know. I was like, is he okay?
Yeah, did you have like a heart attack or something? But
no, Ant
know.
is just fine making fun of I Live Kim Possible a lot right now.
Oh, okay.
Well, depending on what your definition of fun, but that's a whole other story.
He enjoys it. Don't say that. He definitely enjoys that.
Well, yeah. In a similar way that I watch RWBY. Anyways, next question. I don't know if you have another one on Lock Raymond. I actually
now we're getting more super chats. Izanagi.
Oh, are we?
When Mahaval baby, oh god, seeing Arc Systems work doing a 4v4 Marvel game is hype as hell for me. Congratulations.
Oh, sweet.
The Epico, Twilight, quick, what's the Digimon of the day? We mentioned at the start of the stream.
Yeah, we did. Oh no, it's got switched back. Shoot.
What? No, it's still Die Rabbitmon.
Is it? It looks like Bloom Lordmon to me.
It looks like a little tiny rabbit with a sword.
Yeah.
I'm messing with my.
Do you have any idea? And then she'll be all like, "Do you have any idea how little that narrows it down?"
Yeah. There are so many rabbit Digimon. There's so many dogs that look like rabbits because the chibified.
But yeah, we'll start scanning through. Oh, you have a question now, Kaiser? Do you?
No, I was just wondering. Well, I do have a couple, but we can get to it when we actually get to looking at the episode a little bit.
Okay, all right. Oh well, let's
Alrighty.
scroll through then. I don't have as precise control on the
Okay.
watch together, so I can't really skip through things comfortably. Obviously, the
fair.
disclaimer:
Mhm.
not endorsed by Viz Media or Rooster Teeth or anyone at all, which is
Nope.
completely fair. Fan projects be fan projecting.
Don't worry, you'd know.
Maybe.
You'd hear me scream from wherever you're living if
Can
this
you-
media got in contact with
Can you
us.
imagine
Yeah.
a world where like just suddenly like Miles came out and said, "Yeah, no, we're just going to like let Dust Queen take over." It's just
Oh,
Yeah, that
Raymond.
I would be comatose on the floor. Like I wouldn't recover from that.
We would
Oh,
all just
right.
combust, really.
my
Yeah, no,
Oh,
you'd just hear a pop and that would be me.
my
gone.
immediate question is like, "Where's my freaking budget, Miles?"
Oh,
Give me the
Raymond.
money, then we'll talk.
We do this
Raymond,
for free, please.
Yeah. Oh God. Real quick, Raymond. Somebody that I knew who's watching the stream said that you're cutting in and out with your volume on your mic. Is anybody
I
else
am?
in chat hearing something similarly?
All right, let me.
I mean, it's not on my end.
Let me double check. Perhaps my no, everything seems fine. I'm gonna move it closer to my mouth, and hopefully that fixes things.
Yeah, like you're coming through on Discord just fine. I'm just wondering if the viewers are hearing.
Yeah, well,
something
to
like
be
that.
fair, YouTube has this perpetual error. Please use a keyframe frequency of 4 seconds or less. Current keyframes are not being sent often enough, which can cause buffering. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, my keyframing, whatever the fuck that is currently at 0. I don't know how you get less than 4. Like, at less than 0, but I am definitely less than 4 currently.
Well, from what Chad is saying, there doesn't really seem to be a problem. So, to my friend out there, you know who you are.
Get good.
Whoa, wait. Okay, ignore that. Try refreshing the screen, and
It's a skill
hopefully
issue,
that works
really.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a skill
Absolutely.
issue. Your
Upgrade
ears are a
ears.
skill issue.
Hey, Celtic, what's gonna be dropping volume 7? That's gonna be at noon. I'll talk about that at the end of the stream. I'm trying not to talk about it because I don't want to take the thunder away from such an achievement as Dust Queen. It's huge.
Yeah.
Oh, Kyopa,
Yeah,
one last question.
let's not.
Oh, okay, this is an interesting question. Who is everyone's favorite and least favorite RWBY character?
Ooh.
Oh no,
Oh,
I'm
no.
gonna ruffle some feathers with my opinion.
No.
Let me be
You
front.
Ruby or Ruby?
Anyone?
Oh, I wonder if this was just a
I'll
question to all of us.
save it
or-
for the production. Well, I imagine we can cover it in just a short bit, but I want to hand it more to the production team to see what they all say.
Nah, it's fair.
I'll go first. I violently hate John, and I will die on that hill.
Okay, so you're on the critter team on that front. Yeah. Alrighty.
Oh my god, who do you love?
I think everybody
love?
who's
Who do I
go ahead.
love? Is that kind of... I don't know, man. I don't know what gives it away. The fact that I have a Wiess-based show or a Wiess-based profile picture. Or, yeah, you know? Yeah, no, it's totally Salem. That's my favorite. Yeah.
The
Yeah,
world
yeah,
may
yeah,
never
yeah.
know. The world may never know.
I don't hate anyone on the RWBY team.
Yeah, I love my
Like,
girls. I think Cardin's an
yeah.
easy answer, but like I can't say anybody that appeared in Dust Queen. Like
You're right.
Who needs him? Who needs him?
I mean, I always try to draw.
also second. I second the card and hate. Get that fucker out of here.
I always draw a distinction between.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, fuck Cardin.
And then as for favorites, I'm sitting here looking at my Yang emblem tattoo. So
Hannah, you and I shaking hands.
a single brain cell between us, Rocket. A single brain cell.
Absolutely. B-brained Yang stands. Thank you.
I was gonna say I always draw the
then I have-
distinction between hating a character for like obviously a character you love to hate kind of thing versus a character that you hate because they're written poorly.
Or
Like-
that you just don't
Yeah.
like them when you're watching them. Yeah.
Yeah, like conceptually, I like John, but how he's typically written and he just absorbs so much time, it's so obnoxious. Meanwhile, Cardin, he's written to be a complete asshole. He's like that's his job.
So it kind of.
So I can't hate him. Like I kind of love to hate him.
Yeah, it's not a bug; it's a feature with that guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know what's up.
I'm getting a lot of mileage out of that joke.
Celtic
lately.
Phoenix slowly
Like-
putting his fixing Ruby's Carden behind him. Yeah, but he's a different character than Canon Carden. We all know this.
Right. Yeah, that's true. If we should do like a fucking ranking between Canon Ruby characters and fucking fixing Ruby characters.
Maybe another day.
Yeah, another one. Gizmo, I don't think you've answered yet.
Oh gosh. Well, for favorite, don't make me pick between Wiess and Yang. I love them both. I am gonna ruffle some feathers. My least favorite character is Little.
Little.
Ah,
You know, I understand it. I get it.
understand
I get
it.
it.
I get it.
In much the same way that, like, I feel John stole a lot of screen time. I thought that Little took a lot of time when it could have just been Team RWBY the whole time.
a little
She's not
too
even
much time.
awake for half of the time that she's on screen. How is she a character?
Exactly.
Look, I mean, she
This
got
exists.
drop kicked, so you kind of got what you wanted.
This is
I cheered. No, not really.
this is now the John and Little hate stream.
Dude.
Oh my god, if we combine them, it's Little John. We're all Robin Hood now.
Oh
Hey,
my
what?
Am I the solo Mercury hater? I can take or leave him.
Yeah, same here. I could take or leave him.
Eh,
But I
yeah.
guess now we got y'all's thoughts. I guess Raymond.
Favorite is probably Ruby. Now that goes a lot towards conceptually, but like it's usually a flip between her and Wiess, and then least, most hated. Oh, yeah, I gotta go with Oscar.
Yeah, dude. Let's
Aw,
bring
farm
dude
boy.
bring up the Deterex arc. Oscar pie.
Yes.
Hold on, I gotta fish that out. Twilight, you go next.
Oh, gosh, most hated character. There's a lot. I'm sorry, but
Twi's our
characters
resident
that I
Ruby
really don't
hater,
like.
so that makes
There's a
sense.
lot?
Yeah,
I'm
no,
very-
I'm sorry. I'm a snob when it comes to animation and writing, so I never
Wow.
liked Ruby past the White trailer.
Damn. God damn.
Yeah, we tend to have we tend to be here in Team Jack. We're pretty diverse in our Ruby opinion.
Yeah, but
That's like
would-
hating your
really-
child before it's born.
Yeah.
What?
that thing just came out of the womb, and I went, "Ew, ugly."
we got the ultrasound. We got the ultrasound, and I thought it was something.
It was like, nah, I put it back, bro. I don't want it.
We got the ultrasound, and we thought it came from Live Leak. Oh.
Deterex, I know you're watching this. DM me that Oscar Pine art you made of Raymond.
But I will have to say my most hated character would probably have to be Jean, mainly because he's the one that frustrates me the most, outside of like Yang. And for most loved character, completely opposite from Raymond. I would probably have to say Oscar. Not for any reason necessarily in the show, but because of a misconception that I had watching somebody's review of the show. I thought that he was going to have like a lot of really exciting things going on, and so I got really excited for him.
Right.
And then I was disappointed.
Oh.
But I still love him.
All right.
Because he's just a little guy.
Yeah, he is a little
I'm
guy.
imagining
Just a little
if
punch
the
me
very
down.
first chapter went live and Twilight was already like, "What the fuck is this?"
Nice frame. What the fuck is this stuff?
one
And
one
apparently at
episode.
the
a
White
Yeah,
game
she's
trailer,
like, "Fuck this
goddamn.
shit, I'm out."
Yeah.
All right.
It's like
Stick around.
And
I don't enjoy hating stuff, but then there's just so much that disappoints me, and then I keep trying. It's like I'm an abuse victim.
oh my god.
Oh, Lord.
All right. Well. Oh, I found it.
I will stop my jokes now.
All right, Deterex, thank you so much. I'm gonna put this in Team Jack General for y'all to look at. I forget which stream where he made this joke, because we have an artist named Deterex who makes a lot of like, meme art very quickly from things we say on the screen. But there was just one scene where,
Hell yeah.
just Butch Hartmanized Raymond and his hatred for Oscar.
That's glorious.
Oh my god, that's beautiful.
Dude, somebody should make one of this, but Twy towards Jean. Anyways, though, all right, I guess I don't know if I'm gonna piss anybody off or not. At least not. But let me just say this. So my favorite character is Sun. Actually, I really like him a lot.
Sun.
I like his dialogue. I like his personality. And for the most part, I feel like he's the character that has been probably one of the most, if not the most, consistently good throughout all of the volumes.
Don't read the books. Don't read the books.
I still haven't read the books.
Read the
I
books.
still haven't read it.
Yeah.
What you mean? I'm an anime fan. Who the fuck reads?
It's okay, I can't read either. That's why I have audiobooks.
Exactly. Listen, I'm a shonen
there
fan.
are
We don't read our
audiobooks.
own series.
I didn't expect you guys to say post-hated. I said liked and disliked. Well, with RWBY, that typically dips pretty quickly into one of two different
Dude,
categories.
Yeah, it's pretty extreme.
But yeah, my most hated character. I've thought very long, very hard. Kaiser had to do, a lot of really soul searching, black guy stuff, skipping a few rocks on a lake.
I wasn't aware that was unique to black guys, but okay. I'll go tell the freaking Zen monks over in Tibet that they can't soul search now.
That was a reference to something specific. Anyone who in chat could probably get that one. But yeah, after a lot of thinking, the character I hate the absolute most in this show is Raven.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Other than the design, everything else about her, mainly just the dialogue, it does not work for me.
I can see it. Yeah, I can see it.
Like it's
I think.
Oh god, sorry.
I think Raven got like the short straw of the bunch, where it was in like arguably the weaker volumes of RWBY. I think if when they bring her back, I think it's a good opportunity for her as a character, but we'll see.
I mean, hopefully, but like the thing is just that I think about it like this. Even in RWBY, even the other ones that I hated the most or talked about the most, that I have like a lot of issues with writing wise, or just not jiving with how they are written in general. I can debatably see like a version of that can actually work without changing all that much of the story. Black Raven to me is like the black hole of the entire series. You would have to uproot her, in my opinion. She is probably the hardest character to fix, in my opinion, aside from like all the other characters, really.
She's the hardest one to fix, but all the other ones are also really hard.
Everyone else has to be fixed. Just everything else. Just completely scrap it. We're gonna call it Bluey from now on.
I mean, yeah.
Yes.
Like you can keep everything the same with everybody else. It's just that Raven, you would have to change so much structure in Volume 5 in order to make her work.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing with Fractured Fairy Tales.
Two super chats. Wanted to kind of quickly get by them. Hey Celtic, I hope Yang and RWBY get more sister time in fixing Volume 7 and more interactions between Blake and RWBY. You're going to be very happy with Volume 7. I'm going to tell you that. And Ademan678 says you guys should come together and make fixing RWBY a real anime. I appreciate the thought, but I do not think that is tenable for any number of reasons. The least of all is they already spent months getting out a single episode of this. I don't want to take up any more of their time. They've got something awesome they're doing, and I want to see it get fully produced on its own merits.
You can pay us with the souls of your animators, and we'll just like reform that into animation for you.
Also, you are already spending a lot of time and effort on Stellar Sentinels.
Yeah, I'm already got an original property that I would much rather spend my time on. So,
Alright.
But yes, let's actually get into the episode.
Oh yeah, right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
We're watching
there's
the
that.
episode.
That's typically how it goes here. We have 40 minutes in. We typically get to the thing we're trying to cover.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, what are we here for again?
I don't
Yeah,
remember.
I don't know.
Discord call.
We're here for
Um,
the vibes, man. We're here for the vibes.
We're here for Dust Queen.
So
Dust
yeah,
Queen.
we have this cold open on a kind of a shadowy background. I'm gonna try and scroll ahead. This like watery area. I have to first ask: was this inspired at all by like Kingdom Hearts or like?
That was
What
my first
what
question.
anime in specific inspired this? Because I know it had to have come from somewhere.
So initially it
King
wasn't. Yeah. Initially it wasn't, and it looked a lot different. And then I was alerted to the fact that it looks like this one place that also ended up being an inspiration for Kingdom Hearts. And then I kind of steered it more towards Kingdom Hearts looking. But the first time was entirely a fluke, I promise you. It was just very, a very good fluke.
Okay, yeah, and which kind of makes sense because it's a very I guess universally like iconic image when you're going into like somebody's inner world. You see this flowing water everywhere, sort of like somebody's like train of thought. It's always random, coursing and all that. So I
Yeah.
kind of get that.
It's inspired by like every other anime series that's done the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, how much did the water effects melt your PC? Just
So-
ask that.
The funny thing is
Boy.
it's not actually a water effect. It's just a plane with a mirror on it. And it's not even a plane with a mirror on it. It's just like a plane that reflects the surface, and then we just rendered the characters and flipped them on the axis and just put them under them.
Hey, that works.
Magic.
Movie magic.
Movie magic.
And I would be remiss not to highlight, because I know Smaller Soul was really proud of his sound design work, and I know I'm not really putting the audio on screen because like I'm trying to make everyone legible.
Yeah.
But like he put a lot of work into this, and he was very proud of the step sound effect that went into this particular moment.
Very
They just need to rewatch it for the full experience.
Yeah, everyone go
No,
watch
no
it.
joke.
Yeah.
Those step sound effects
Yeah.
are my. No joke. Those sound effects are my fiance's favorite part of the episode more than anything I worked on.
There's a lot of
Ow.
very interesting, like a lot of the sound effects in here Soul live recorded in his room or in his bathroom. Like there's some things later on where I think when Ruby's fiddling with Crescent Rose, it uses like a mixture of his typewriter and his tripod, which I find
Oh
hilarious.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he got really creative. It's amazing to see.
Yeah, that's really fun. Honestly, I've seen like a couple of shows that go into different aspects of creating like an anime project or even just like movie production in general, and the sound designers are always like the funniest part to me.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Like, it's funny because even the Grimm, it was just two of her voice actors and Soul just growling into the microphone.
So Robert Glending, thank you for gifting the 10 memberships. And congratulations to everyone that got caught in that. Hope you enjoy the custom emojis.
Good shit.
Is there anything in particular like you guys wanted to highlight about this scene? Because like I'm trying to generate like ideas for like questions to ask, but I'm terrible at it on the fly.
Please enjoy the fog. It absolutely broke me mentally for months trying to figure out this fog. And it kind of came out okay in the end, which ended up just being like video effects pack that we ended up buying for the studio. But I tried like EmberGen, I tried Blender fog simulations, I tried a whole bunch of stuff, and it didn't like me. It's just very angry at me.
You know that
Oh
that
my God,
kinda
I
checks
understand
out. Fog
that
tends to be
struggle.
like a really big issue with a lot of these. Apparently, it's a lot harder than most people think.
I wonder that because like they used to use fog. We were just talking about Silent Hill before the stream because of Silent Hill F. But like Silent Hill 1 is legendary for using fog to limit its render distance, and I was like, wait. Why can't we just go back to that? How did we lose that technology?
I suppose on a more technical level, so I think that would work fine if you were doing like a misty kind of a fog. In fact, that's kind of how we got the depth look in a lot of the shots in the forest, is we had a fog pass or a mist pass. But for something like this, where it's basically just like glorified clouds on the ground, it causes a lot more problems. But let me just say, just thank God for video packs, because if it hadn't existed, this sequence would have looked wonky.
No, that's fair.
So we've got this
Alright.
effect about the leaf freezing and then fading away. Anything notable about that? Like, did you guys? What was your particle and what were the particle effects like in house? I can't remember exactly if you guys set up something unique or if you're using like presets.
So it's kind of a mix of 50-50 in terms of particles. So we have, for the Grimm dissolving, that's if you're familiar with Blender, it's a geometry nodes modifier on the characters. Actually, it was a geometry nodes, and then we kind of simplified it. But for stuff like the leaf, that's just, I think I used After Effects for sequence 1. So that's just an After Effects particle, all figured out. The leaves themselves in Blender, so the leaves that are kind of floating around the scene, that's just geometry nodes, and they're kind of globally around the scene. That's why there's sometimes if you look really, really close, you can just see them kind of melting through the floor. So
Okay, that's pretty cool.
yeah.
So okay, how did you achieve the skybox change here? I hadn't really considered that as much. But now that I'm looking
that's
at
a
it,
good
it
one,
does
yeah.
look really good. So is it like, are you changing? Are you? It's not like it's an animated. How did you achieve that? I'm stuck here, like, because you talk about how clouds and stuff are hard to render in fog. So I'm just.
So what we had the void day and like the void night, and they were two separate maps. So the animators kind of chose whichever one to animate on. It's the same map, like model wise, but the textures are changed. So you have like the bright one and the dark one with different bits and bobs. The way we did the swap over is we rendered the day version and the night version, and there was like a rolling fog asset or video pack thingy that we stacked a couple times and used as a mask to get that transition. You can actually see, if you go and look at the episode, like the teaser we posted back in August, everything that you're kind of seeing in the episode now was recomposited from scratch since that episode. So you can see the older kind of way we tried to do it, which didn't look the best. So this is just like a rolling fog effect or two kind of stacked on top of each other to get the really nice kind of waviness and the rollout of fog. I remember being really proud of that shot when it came together because it was so hard.
No, I imagine so. Like freaking formations and weather phenomena stuff. Like apparently that's way harder to animate than most people would think. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's not even animation. It's just simulations and hoping that it works well a lot of the time. Like,
Okay.
Yeah.
sometimes it depends, I think, on what you're working on. But if this was done in something like Houdini, which is the industry standard simulations thing, sometimes you have to simulate it like 3 or 4 times before you get the achieved look, which is a lot of data to save.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, it reminds me a lot of and I actually think it looks better than the fog that you see in Volume 9. All the smoke that they used in that, I always thought that looked kind of wonky and janky, and not in the oh, we're so out of our world kind of way. It always kind of looked just sort of like you didn't finish rendering it.
Yeah.
So this came
No, I'd
across a
agree
lot
with
Cutting
stronger.
corners.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I said, yay, cutting corners.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that yeah, and
Woo,
like I
budget.
think another issue was that like those that fog during that volume. Another issue is just the way it didn't blend super well with the colors and the lighting of the scenes.
Yeah. That was, I think, because when I was looking through that scene, because obviously I've referenced the show quite a lot for rendering styles. When I was looking through that scene, I think one of the main reasons it looks so odd is because it's very in focus. Like, it's not very soft, which I think it probably needs to be. It was something I was kind of aware of when I was doing my compositing. But the series kind of has it very fog, and because it's all rainbow colored, kind of drags your attention towards it, which is obviously not the intention.
Right.
I think it's just kind of a mix of factors. Honestly, I think it's one of the first times RT had done something like that, so it was, I suppose, a first time attempt. But yeah, the reference wasn't intentional, I swear. Again, it was just another weird coincidence.
Yeah, no, I completely believe that. So yeah, we'll let it roll on through. Get the lightning going on in the background. Is that there's like a PNG just like flashes, or do you have a simulation for that as well?
Whoa, my neck.
Oh, your neck okay over there?
I had a drink of water and my neck broke.
Okay. Okay, water is Stai's weakness apparently. No
Hey man,
wonder.
I'm a robot, man. My body just.
Oh, same here. No, okay, we're in the same boat. No, that's my lore too. We got there.
I got the baby proof
When she
chest.
acts up, we just spray her with water.
Yeah, I just get soggy, bro.
It's weird playing this this straight through. Like, I'm not used to playing things straight through without pausing a whole lot. It's like it looks so professional. I'm like, oh god, Rooster Teeth's gonna strike me at any minute now.
Furious.
Oh,
Water hurts you. Are you Asmongold?
Yeah.
Deterex, shut up.
I guess one thing I gotta note about this sequence, not just this sequence, but also in general, with the entire episode. I really love what you guys do with the facial expressions. They are
Thank you.
very, very
The animators
fantastic.
cooked.
They
cooked.
absolutely fucking cook. Good on y'all. Gold star. Buoy smacks consensually. Fantastic.
I actually was going to level a little bit of a criticism at that, actually.
Okay.
Nothing. I think it's a little overexpressive at times, and it's actually probably my main critique with the overall episode is that there are times where I think the expressions. I mean, obviously the comedic ones I give much more of a pass, and even there I still think it's a little too much, but there are times where it's a little too rubbery, character motions and the like. And to be fair, like, that's a fine-tuned type thing. It's not like you guys are already like 90% of the way there. I just feel like
pretty much
it's like you gotta just, I think, rein it in a little bit. But that could be just personal taste. I know a lot of people really love how expressive and emotive a lot of these characters are in the extremes.
Yeah, like I think in terms of, I guess, because hey, there's a show that this is based on, if in case you guys have forgotten or anything. I think this is the kind of thing that the original show, especially in the later volumes, have been trying very, very hard to balance. And even though I guess we can rewatch it a little bit, because I rewatched some of it before we got started, but I mainly just rewatched the first half of the episode rather than the second half, because I already got some thoughts on that. But at the very least, though, even with that critique in mind, y'all have already, in my opinion, done a much better job at sort of coming very close to blending that together. Again, it's like Raymond said, a lot more fine-tuning, and it can actually be pitch perfect. But as far as I'm concerned, I like it despite that, honestly. It's barely noticeable for me, at least not on the first viewing. So I think y'all are on the right track.
What I was noticing was how smooth everything is. Like, especially with 3D animation, you can get a little bit of jank here and there.
BRB.
And of course, as an animator, you can probably pick out like a little bit of like things in the background, things that most people won't probably notice unless if you actually know what to look for with that, and then you could just pick it out like a hawk. But I've noticed just how smooth and flowy everything is, and I really enjoy that. So congrats, guys.
Thank you. That means a lot. There was a lot of care and attention put towards that. Like I said, I've been a professional for several years now, and I had multiple friends taking a look at our sequences, other professionals to kind of comb through and make sure everything was working really well. So that was my goal for episode 1, because that's what I have jurisdiction over. And I was really happy with it. Thank you.
You have jurisdiction over it. You just pass into episode 2. We're just driving through. It's like, you don't have jurisdiction here anymore.
Yeah, like we definitely like try and like replicate the RWBY style, but something that we definitely want to do just as Grimm Tidings is kind of find our own little style of animation, like what makes us us. And like a bunch of that expressiveness is going to definitely stay, but we'll kind of like fine tune it so that all the animators kind of know like, yeah, this is the Grimm Tidings style that we try and get like very close to RWBY, but we also just want to be ourselves and get out there to find our own voice a little bit.
Yeah. It definitely is hit with a lot of people. Definitely that. And I, you know, for my nitpicks about it, they are nitpicks. I am incredibly happy with everything that I've seen out of this series so far.
Thank you.
Do you guys have a name for this alternate Wiess entity? Do you just call her the Dust Queen, or like?
Oh, my blue child. Her name officially is Reflection Wiess. That's the term we've given her.
Ah.
Okay. I know we're definitely gonna be getting more for. Okay, here's an interesting thing. Like, is this a dream that Wiess is supposed to be having, like, right before the episode starts, or is this a flash forward to something that's happening later?
I will say that yes, it's a flash forward to something that's happening later.
Ooh.
Kaiser?
So how did she get there?
Kaiser,
How
your
did she
stream
happen? How'd
paused.
that happen?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. We lost him.
Oh.
Give him some oil. Give him an eating.
Wow.
I'll just put him away for now. If he comes back, we'll put him back up.
No.
He's
Jose,
deafened and muted, so he doesn't even know, probably.
Jose
To
Galagarza.
the
Hello,
Shadow
everyone.
Realm.
Hope you're all doing well. Dust Queen so far is really good. I'm really interested to see where this goes and hopes this project goes far.
Thank you.
All
We
hail
also
this
hope it
guy.
goes far.
Okay, I'm back.
Oh, well, your screen is still paused.
Ah, shoot. Okay, I have to cut off Discord real quick and then come back in.
Oh God, this is going to be a level of of true angel of
Yeah.
of freaking biblically accurate.
Biblically accurate, Jack.
And it had to happen on this stream in particular. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can't
Just
believe you
because this
scoped
hasn't
it.
happened. Listen, it hasn't
it,
happened in a
Kaiser.
while. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I forget for you production crew people, biblically accurate is basically whenever someone has to drop out of the call and it rearranges how Discord presents itself, which completely screws with how I have everything pictured. So everything goes, hey, you all look like missing no, basically.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Well, whenever Kaiser closes his stream, that is. Well, we'll just continue on until that happens.
Yeah.
Well, he's buffering. Give him a
Let's
minute.
go.
He's got bad internet. His robot self got bad internet.
Okay.
Oh
So
no, beep boop.
So yeah, this is a flash forward. There we go. All right.
There it is.
Just giant
There it
size
is.
snout.
Whoa! Hello!
Oh my God.
Hang on.
My
There we
lord.
go. All right, everything's
Oh,
back.
my Lord. Hello,
Alright,
I'm in
sorry
I'm
about
in the
that.
cube. Help! There we go.
Help.
All these squares make a
Giant.
circle.
No, we've already got a circle. He's right there.
Oh my God.
It's the garlicky one.
It's the garlic. The wizard. The wizard has turned into a circle.
But yes, we open then on, well, Team RWBY bursting through a door. And we get to see everyone
Yeah.
in their fully rendered glory. The other, I know this is a criticism that Critter had, and I kind of share it. The shading on, like, it's the faces. There's something to, like,
Yeah.
the lining. Is that something that, like, you guys are trying something different stylistically, or is that just something you couldn't quite nail down, or
So,
what's going on there?
That's interesting. We've actually, ever since I watched Judgmental Critters video, and I was like, yeah, that's a fair judgment. We've already changed it. It was
Fast
an
like that.
attempt to be. See, sometimes in the show they have drawn on shadows, and sometimes they don't, and sometimes it's hard to tell what's a drawn on shadow and what's not. So I must have referenced this forever ago and thought that chin, whole neck thing was a drawn-on shadow, and that's why that's there like that. It's constantly dark, so is the neck, so you'll never unsee that now. You're welcome. But yeah, it was something we were aware of. If it's something that's caught people's attention, it has been shifted back now, so they look a lot more natural now. You get to see the sides of their faces.
Okay, cool.
HJ Fies, did they nerf my girl Yang's chest? I'd like to speak to the manager.
Whoa! Quite the opposite.
Yeah, I'm
We have a joke in the chat where it's literally, I think at some point I said like, "Oh God, Yang's boobs just keep getting bigger." 'Cause I couldn't cross her arms over her tits.
I think, oh my god, like when I originally watched this with a friend of mine the other day, I think he asked the same question.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
like we had to like suck Yang's tits in for some shots with our bones. Like it was weird.
She's getting the Power Girl treatment. Yes. Deterex, chill.
Damn, bro.
Chill. I've seen your work and not safe for work chat. All right, I've seen it.
No.
Oh no! Oh no!
I feel like that's a thing. Again, try not to speak as much on fixing RWBY, but when we were redesigning certain characters like Yang, some people get really overzealous in like making her assets of a particular size, and it's like I wonder if we're like compensating as a fandom because of what happened to her in like what it feels like happened to her in the later volumes where it just kept.
You mean when Wiess swiped them away progressively each volume? Just
It's
sucking
okay.
things up.
We took Weiss, we took Yang's tits and put them in her arm. She's buff as hell. We love her.
Hell yeah. Yeah, she
So
is.
it evens out. So it
Yeah.
evens out.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
balanced now.
People used to say that Chris Redfield was smuggling cantaloupes in his arms. No, Yang is smuggling boobs. Oh, don't be ashamed of her
man.
assets. Okay, there's a such thing as like when it is literally like 30% of her body mass. All right, there is a problem. The Great Milk Caper.
and then all the Yang fans are all like, problem?
Problem?
Going-
Nothing wrong here.
Going back to the shading for a sec, though, I will say I really like how simple and how clean it is. Because like the canon show had so many problems with its shading, whether it be from volume 1 to like volume 4 and beyond. Like they never really got the shading of the characters right, and everything just looked a little bit off. I will say the characters, they look good, barring the slight little problems with the skin notwithstanding, but I really like how like RWBY's cloak looks. I like the outfits. Their school uniforms look actually good now.
Yeah, they actually have a little bit more texture to them, which is nice.
Funnily enough, I remember one of the things when we released a teaser was somebody saying something about the textures of the uniform. Or maybe super self-conscious. Like we were just after finishing compositing this entire sequence, and someone was like, "Oh, this here is a little bit off," and I was like, "Oh, uh-oh." That's not good. Oh well, it's here now.
People have pointed out that it has a very reflective floor for all those short skirts.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Just don't look down. Never look down.
Don't
You'll be
look.
fine.
Oh, I didn't even notice that shit.
The floor buffer was like going ham the night before. He was like, "This is gonna be the shiniest fucking floor they ever fucking saw." Yeah.
Kyoko is the one who did their floors icy. That's
Oh
a
my
reference that nobody will
God.
get but me.
Wow.
That floor is a
Sorry.
lawsuit waiting to happen.
That's all right.
I'm sorry. I'm
Take it
I'm
easy.
getting it. I'm getting back into my skip beat phase. I might have to go reread it again. There's a scene where the character buffs the floor so that it's so dangerous that people actually get injured walking on it.
Oh my
Jesus.
god. Lovely.
The chaos.
Someone tried to nerf
Sorry.
Team Ruby. You heard it here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's an interesting question. Was it difficult to populate the background with extras?
Oh, don't talk to me about the background characters, dude.
That's
was-
literally my job! That's what I'm here to do!
So much pain. So much
After
pain.
this, I have a question.
We had so many instances of having to re-render the background characters because of twinning and like triplets and people doing the exact same movements, and it was fun. And then you have to render the reflections, so you have to render every background pass twice. And then if there is a problem with the background pass, you'd have to re-render it twice. It was fun. I really enjoyed that aspect of the pipeline.
Totally. I guess that brings me to my question. Now that we're hearing more of the characters making the face noises, how did you? What was the process of, I guess, getting the voices for each of the characters like?
I asked. I put,
Yeah,
I put
but
up a
the-
casting call for the trailer, and people just kind of joined. And I think actually, when I did the casting call, that was when I realized that Dusk Queen was probably getting bigger than I anticipated it getting, because I got like 70 responses in a week.
Holy shit!
Yeah, which is a
Yeah.
lot. But I hopped on call with someone and was like, does this sound like them? No. Does this sound like them? No. Does this one sound like, yeah, that sounds pretty good. Let's go with that one. And we got a shorter and a shorter list. And then
Mhm.
eventually it came down to, okay, if I close my eyes, which one sounds the most like them?
Yeah.
I do remember, like, one of the kind of main moments was when we got Ari, who's our Blake, and Ari
Right.
auditioned with a video of a redubbing of the generator scene in Volume 8 between Blake and Ruby. And
Okay.
Ari had applied as Blake, and I'd listened through the whole thing. I was like, yeah, that Blake is really good. We'll probably go with that Blake versus the other person who we were going to pick. And then I looked in the description, and it was Blake and Ruby. She dubbed over both, and I never even realized it. So that's how we got Ari. And then everyone else just kind of joined in. Like, Tina is Ruby. Everyone loves Tina. But there were a couple of other really strong contenders for Ruby. Same with Yang. There's Zippy, of course, who ended up being our Yang. A couple of other people who hung around. Glinda's voice was perfect. I actually picked Glinda's audition on the way home from a concert.
Fair enough. Yeah. That Glinda actually almost sounds exactly like the Cam voice for her.
Yeah, Kenkoi's voice is glorious.
Yeah.
So smooth, so buttery smooth.
Oh, that was Kenkoi. Oh.
Yeah.
She did some work for us back in Volume 6. So
well, there you go.
Yeah. She did Apira for us.
Well, there you go.
Multifaceted.
But yeah, I was pretty happy with all the casting. I say,
Good.
having gotten casted.
Good job.
I was gonna say we've already well past my line, which was one of the very first, just a shadowy. Well, at the very beginning of it.
Well. It isn't the Schnee of the Harris Company.
wait, what?
The Schnee of the Harris Company.
Yes, we produce the nicest.
You know the
We
line.
produce the nicest airs. Yes, we do. Just like we are right next to Milton's Milton factory.
Exactly.
The platypus of the patty.
But yeah, I think the other, I think the other small nitpick is I think some of the timings on the line deliveries could be tighter, more so like how the individual lines are spaced between characters. I think what stood out to me was like the Ruby gushing over the Damascus steel. I feel like that could have been just a little bit tighter, but I can't really articulate how. It's just one of those things that like something's not quite clicking 100% here. But I'll just thought I'd throw that out there because everything else is just superb.
Yeah.
Wiess and RWBY immediately into bicker mode, getting on each other's nerves.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I love this joke.
I do like how you kept it consistent that Wiess is the heaviest sleeper of the four.
Also, Wiess absolutely was awake by RWBY playing games all night. That is.
Was there anything in particular about this dynamic that you really wanted to nail? Like I'm trying to think of like a good question when it comes down to just how you guys approach these four as characters.
Right.
Well, I think it's interesting, right? Because we obviously have a foundation to build on, but it's whether or not you agree that the foundation to build on is stable. Which in some cases it wasn't. There's a lot of I kept an eye on the fandom for a while, and I'm an avid reader of fanfic, so I kind of see a lot of tropes that come up again and again for stuff that people like to read. So like stuff like Yang being really sisterly and really like leaning on RWBY's head, for example, or RWBY shoving Yang off of her. Like we don't get that fun sisterly bullying in the show anymore. So that was definitely something I wanted to hit. But like I said earlier, in terms of characters and writing the characters, it was kind of taking what they had from, let's say, like end of volume 1, volume 2-ish, to volume 6, volume 7, and finding a middle point between that was, because obviously, like I said, if you have a bunch of strangers together, you're either you're masking, or you're not 100% comfortable with them yet, so you're a bit standoffish, but you're getting warm to them. Like I tried to get that in with Blake later on with Yang calling her Kit Kat, and Blake like rolling her eyes but she's smiling.
Sure.
So she's like, yeah, I'll tolerate that, sure. But in terms of like the actual character personalities, it was basically just taking what the fandom liked, taking what I liked, and taking what the actual show had, and just like meshing them together until they worked.
Yeah, and I think that works out really, really well, especially in terms of, like you said way before, which is making this project a Team RWBY focused thing.
Yeah.
Because it's very, like we said before, something that we really missed that I felt like was very much lost along the way was just the lack of seeing the dynamic of Team RWBY just playing off of each other. And the very few times where it does happen, like in Volume 9, has, mixed results, in my opinion anyways.
Yeah.
So I really, but when I watch this, it feels like a very, very much more refined, I suppose, version of why, just going back to Volume 2, especially. Like I close my eyes, like I watched the first episode of that, and I close my eyes, way a few times, and I watch this, and it's almost exactly the same to me.
I'm glad. That means we did their job good.
Mr.
Yeah,
Maxim,
very good.
Yang affectionately calls you a racial slur.
Oh God!
Right.
Yeah, our chat can get nuclear sometimes.
Oh no, of course
no,
it's you,
Max. Hi, Max.
I mean, to be fair, that is something of like a landmine in RWBY in general, is the nature of the faunus and like what is and is not okay, because they're positioned as a racial minority. So like, saying anything like giving a cat faunus a cat nickname, is that racist? And that's like a question the show never tackles.
That kind of shit, yeah.
I think that through, not think too hard about it. I didn't think it through.
No, this is not a knock on you. It's just funny to think about.
Accidental racism.
If anything, you're well within the realms of actual RWBY there. I'm not gonna hold you hold you on that one.
Yeah, don't worry about it too
Cats are
much. But our
nice.
Yang is a raging racist, so it's
There we
Okay,
go.
good.
Yeah.
As she should
We
be.
hired it specifically for that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. See, that's now canon. You're only in the Team Jack podcast.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. I realized no, she's not a racist, she's the opposite. She's a fetishist.
Oh no.
I mean, listen, dog. The line between the two can be really blurry with some people.
Well, in a way, it is a type of racism. It's just the opposite direction.
Exactly.
He really likes those cat ears. Like,
Yeah,
Oh. DBZ Doctor, this new series, in my opinion, should be canon.
no.
I feel like it would not mesh well with canon. What little I know about what's to come, I don't think it did actually line up.
Maybe we can like get a hammer and beat it back into canon, but canon's gonna be a little bit misshapen, and so is Dusk Queen by the end of it. So
I mean, like I said, depending on how much time there is between volumes 2 and 3 in the beginning of volume 3, I was saying that this could probably potentially like fit nicely into it. I don't know how much time is meant to pass during this series, but that's an idea.
You say that. I don't think so.
I
Okay.
wait for
I
episode.
don't think so.
It's been a
Wait for
while since
episode
I've
2, I
seen
would
the
say.
full timeline.
If I could encourage it, I would
it's-
just say just break off into your own direction. I think it
Yeah,
makes
we're
it
going
stronger.
to. There's plans way off in the future if sometime it gets happening. There's plans for like a volume 3 vision of what Dusk Queen would meld into, but that's neither here nor there for like the next
Giant
several
Mecha
years, so-
Penny!
Yeah,
Let's
exactly.
go.
Yeah.
Everyone already know Blake is a faunus? I can't remember. They do it by the end of volume 1, and this definitely takes place after volume 1.
Yeah, they know
Yeah,
Blake's
definitely.
honest.
Brace this, yeah, I'm getting banned from
Yeah.
Twitter.
Cancelled.
I do like how you because like I'm not a fan of like cringe humor, so I was like really worried about this interaction with RWBY and Wiess, and it kind of pushed my threshold, but then you focused on Blake and Yang in the foreground and had this comedy bit in the background. It was
They're
just a
moms.
really nice
They're the
directing
moms of
choice.
the team. Yeah,
And
it's like,
also-
because
Can
again.
Go.
Can
it's
I
fine.
Such a good
for a
shot.
second?
Oh, go ahead.
Can I gush for a second about like that little squash and stretch that you guys did with Ruby's face there?
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
it was-
I
That was really
plug.
good.
So Abram
Abram.
Duchesne did that. He's a friend of mine, and absolutely stellar work for that section. He did up until like from "That's a Damascus tipped spear" until when Weiss is like, "Well, they better be." Like that entire run of shots was just that one animator. And I've never known someone with such a great eye for this kind of thing. Like I've seen so many gift sets of Blake and Yang in the foreground and Weiss like grabbing Ruby, and she's like, "Ruby!" And it has like a timing that makes me laugh every single time.
The
Like,
sped up
it's-
ones are my favorite. It's like shaking
Yeah.
her like a maraca. Like Jesus Christ.
like my favorite parts of this is when she's like, "What?" Like she gets disappointed and she like droops, and then it's that Weiss
Yep.
grab. And then I also love when Weiss shoves her forward. There's like a little sigh that comes from Ruby once she gets into frame in this shot. It's hilarious and it's just stellar work. I remember like they were like every time I would see them, because we like have our own chat because we went to school together.
Mhm.
Like every time I would see them, they would be just live streaming Blender, and I would kind of watch it come together and it just took weeks. But yeah, brilliant work.
Aiden,
Yeah.
how dare you say Celtic $1 in the White Rose jar? One, it's actually a scene that's happening that's just actually cute, regardless of shipping. And two, I'm sitting next to Sai, the White Rose.
Hello,
You
I am
brought
XX
it
White
up
Rose.
I am not at blame today.
Yeah.
It's my fault. I planted the seeds. Everyone in here is White Rose fans now.
Yay.
And, you know, it's like
One of
it's
us.
like the fucking symbiote from Spider-Man 3. But it's like right in red instead of black and white.
Yeah, exactly. It's Game Month. It's Pride Month. You can't not enjoy White Rose. That's
Yeah.
homophobic.
So
Yeah.
actually, with that
Obligation.
squish
Obligation.
and stretch, did they have to break the face rig to do that, or was that already like,
No.
all that built in?
So Garlic can speak to that, but it was really intuitive. It was great.
Yeah, it's basically we try and copy how the real show works. So there's like an endless number of sliders you can push and pull to get whatever sort of shape you want. Yeah, and I don't know why you're having me answer this question. I have no idea how you do what you do. It is like magic. when you use that.
Well, it's having the availability and the fidelity of the rigs, I think, because like Abram knows a new Blender kind of before working on this project a little bit. But it was really easy once I kind of walked them through the rigs of just like, oh yeah, no, I know what I want to do. and really took advantage of the squash and stretch for these shots specifically. There's also some really, really nice like subtle smears with the fingers especially. And at some point I think the video reference is hilarious because there was video reference shot for like such cartoony parts. But he used a lot of it. It was great. So anyways, I'm done gushing. They're fantastic shots.
Much more.
So Ozpin didn't get any lines this time around. Did he?
So funny thing
There's
is,
a story there.
Ozpin had an entire speech.
Oh,
Yeah, I was gonna say
we
I
have-
remember that vaguely, but like I don't.
Yeah.
I remember this episode
We-
being longer than it ended up being.
Yeah, so we had an entire Ozpin speech. It was recorded, like the lines were recorded, and it was cut together. However, it added like an extra 2.5 minutes of just Ozpin speaking, and we all kind of came to the conclusion that this is boring as heck to watch. So let's get rid of it. So we got rid of it, and our Glinda voice actor added in the first line where it's like, "May I have your attention, please?" Everything kind of after "May I have your attention, please" was in the original script. But before that, Ozpin spoke, and then Glinda came up after him. We probably will be releasing the Ozpin speech on the Grimm Tidings Patreon for anyone who's interested in that kind of stuff. But
Cool.
yeah, there was an entire Ozpin speaking scene. So now he just kind of hangs there awkwardly and just kind of smiles and waves and walks away. It's kind of funny.
Smaller soul, I
And
see
for
you.
anyone-
I see you down there.
And for anyone who is interested
Hey,
in the
Smosa.
writing aspect of this is what is known as killing your darlings.
Yes.
There we go.
Yep.
We worked so hard on that Ozpin speech. It was rewritten like 6 times, and it didn't even make it in the episode.
Yep.
Damn.
I
that's how that
remember
works
you guys
sometimes.
struggling. Like, that was still there during the read through, wasn't it?
Yeah, so we did the read through, and then Ozpin's speech was kind of there, and it was still kind of funky. And then Ari, who actually helped rewrite it, I think Ari, you, and a couple of the other voice actors helped. I think Kevin helped as well to rewrite it, and we got it working. And then it was like, oh, this is a drag. Maybe not. It was kind of more of an information dump. There was a lot more information in it that kind of used to help set it timeline wise. It was kind of supposed to replace the Ozpin speech in Volume 2. So it was going to be like a change from that. Which is why this episode kind of, it's not really clear where it's set because it wasn't that Ozpin speech and Ozpin got executed. So,
So
oops.
if this were still technically speaking from your initial plan, this would be like the splinter point would be like this would be the replacement for the Mountain Glen mission.
Yeah, so it would replace the Mountain Glen mission. But even, see, here's another kind of thing. Episode 1 was written, and then we changed the story of the entire season. So episode 1's storytelling is based on the original season, which is changed now. So it kind of wibble wobbles a little bit, but we're going to course correct, so it's going to be a little bit better.
That's what I was kind of iffy about, because one of the other things that made me thought that this took place after the events of Volume 2 was when Blake said that, oh, you think taking on entire criminal organizations is fun? So I was like, okay, they're obviously referring to like Roman and the White Fang there. So that's what I thought.
Yeah, so it's after the Paint the Town Red, which is where they encountered the robots and stuff. So they have all that. They've gone through that aspect.
Right.
That's still canon to Dusk Queen now. Everything after is a soup. Time's a soup. The next question.
Here's an interesting question from the chat. Can you still read the original Dust Queen fanfic?
You can. It's in the Dusk Queen public Discord. However, if you're trying to read it to get spoilers as to what happened, you're not going to get anything because it's been rewritten like 3 times since the fanfic. But if you want to read something that's full of pain and misery and suffering, yeah, feel free. The PDF of the entire fic plus the unfinished chapter that I never ended up posting is pinned somewhere in the public chat. Which is available in both the Grimm Tidings episode 1 description and probably somewhere else. It's probably on the Twitter. I can't remember.
All right, sweet.
I know something about fanfic that are just misery and suffering. I read Green Tea Rescue from the My Hero fandom.
Oh, Lord.
I love that one, but my God, at this point, I need to comment on that last episode. But like, they need to torture porn needs to be added to a freaking Or no, no, misery porn. That's it. That was it. Misery porn.
Just the fan fiction got a little bit grimdark. I don't think many of the original voice actors read the fanfic, which is good because they would sob hysterically and probably leave the project. So
yeah,
I'm already expecting
their programming.
I'm already expecting Roman not to come out of this just okay. So you know what? I would probably be fine.
Yeah, I was about to say you do bad fan fiction night, bro. Get some hair on your balls for fuck's sake.
Yeah, we're currently reading through. I don't know if you know Shadiversity at all.
I don't think so.
He's one of those sword tubers. He did his own original novel, and we're reading through that right now on Bad Fan Fiction Night. You can probably guess our opinion of it, considering the fact that we're reading on bad fanfiction.
I mean, I have a guess, considering it's on bad fanfiction night, but I don't know if I'm wrong.
No, if you haven't heard this book, I feel like that's a blessing in disguise, but it is very, very funny.
Yeah, let me give you some biblically accurate art to this that Deterex did for us. Meanwhile, anyone else can field a different question while I search for this.
Okay then.
Deterex.
Oh wait, did he post something already?
Oh, did he post
he did.
Yeah,
oh,
there he is.
Yeah, there he is. Anyway,
Just as requested.
Oh my god, no. What did he do?
Why can't I copy this? Copy image. Thank you, Discord. Or did you already post it?
Doing great.
There we go. It's in Team JYCT art.
Yay!
Yes! I win.
Let's see.
That's glorious.
Exactly what I asked.
Oh my god, you nice.
I approve this message. This is glorious.
Yeah, this is exactly what I asked. Okay, I just have the most random ass requests like during the stream, and when Deterex is around, he just exceeds expectations. It is great.
He really does.
Glorious.
Okay,
MVP right there.
Here. I'll put in Team JYCT General. Here is a picture from a depiction of an experience his character had in the book.
Oh God.
Yeah,
we
this
call this
guy
suffering from success.
Yeah, this guy is the Gary Stew of the Gary Stews.
Oh no.
So.
Yeah, he's so bad. Ugh.
The art is so nice as well. I love it.
Deterex has a really nice cartoony style. I love it.
Yeah,
bro, you're a trooper.
Dude, I remember like he started following me because I collabed with a different channel called A List Exists. They do a lot of like video response stuff. And then after that, he started just following me everywhere. And then here he is.
Little shadow.
Smaller Soul says, couldn't join the call, unfortunately, but just wanted to briefly share how much I love this team. It's the most fun I have had working on anything RWBY related.
Yeah, Soul.
Soul.
Thanks.
Grabs and shakes.
Soul when I get you, Soul.
Well, I appreciate... Yeah, well, we definitely appreciate your thoughts here. And, you know, even though it's a shame you couldn't be here, we really appreciate you taking the time for this. Just have a good night. Or whatever time
he lives in that weird Australian half-hour time zone.
The Australian has risen.
Oh
he is
God.
awake.
It's early morning for him. Yeah.
8 in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, have a good rest of your day. However that goes.
So we've Glinda giving her speech, and we transition pretty smoothly from there into the actual. Well, it's them going right to the mission boards.
It's pretty smooth.
I was gonna say there was a smooth transition, but I think it was somewhere else. That's right. I think it was like basically right after Yang makes her declaration of like how hard could it be?
Oh yeah.
I have that. I have one question. Who during this part of the speech where it's like, okay, this is the first time that you'll be going on a mission without any licensed huntsman helping you out. It is like one guy's in the background like, yeah, like who is that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's totally Russell.
It's funny. I love it. There's also, after Glinda finishes speaking, he goes, "Search and destroy, let's go!" And someone's like, "We did search and destroy last year."
Oh, I didn't hear. I could barely hear that part. But you know
Yeah.
what, I'm gonna be pointing out for it.
I love that. What was your decision on that? Like, was that intentional going in, or was that some ad lib that you
Was
guys
that
decided
an
to just
ad-lib?
throw in?
That was Soul. Soul 100% handled that.
I can actually tell you the story about that because the was actually supposed to be just a reminder for him to change a little something and add some sounds of the crowds in there. So you just put that in there. But at some point along the lines, when he was in call with a couple of other people, we just loved it so much. We were like, no, you got to keep it. You got to keep it in. The is so funny.
Yeah.
So then it got integrated, and like Soul added like some laughing tracks as well to really just all make it come together.
Aiden and Robbie, yes, I have seen the teddy bear lore. I wanted to kind of give the floor more so this time around to our guests, so I just haven't. We can get to it at the end of the stream. I'll try and scroll through all of it. One of our viewers likes to. He tells the story of Teddy Bear Paladin. It's a cute little. It just turned into a thing that he just does during streams. So
Yeah.
he's dropped like 6 parts on us during this stream, and I haven't.
Yeah. And if anyone wants to actually read the lore, you'll definitely find it in the team, not in the Team Chat Discord, in the Tundra Discord for $1 in Patreon.
Yes, to my Patreon or Twice Patreon at this rate.
Yes.
$1 or more gets you access to it. And you can hang out with us during things like Bad Fanfiction Night. It's a all good time.
Yeah, but like the stuff that he wrote for this whole Teddy Bear Paladin like lore fanfic thing that he sends bits and pieces into chat like in all these streams is insane.
It spiraled from this really, really cute, wholesome story about a little kid having a little teddy bear that protects him from nightmares. It's very wholesome. And like he just kept adding like a Funko Bear pop that became his little brother. And then he added these other kids that would bring their toys. And it spiraled, and then we started reading Unicorns of Balinor on stream,
which is a childhood book series of mine.
Yeah,
I wanted to subject them to.
And it's her RWBY, sort of.
Yeah,
it is my RWBY. Like, it's so bad, but I have like this love-hate relationship with it, and it's like I want to fix it, and I want to show people like how bad it is.
It's but yeah, so it spiraled into this complicated network of different like
we
bears
got
and unicorns
and
at
Care
war.
Bears in here. Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, it's real fun.
And so we have the girls now.
Yeah, there he is.
So scrolling forward, you have the girls obviously deciding what they want to do, and the one thing worth note is like when they're talking about what jobs are available is obviously the shout out to Evermorrow, which I very much appreciate. I love both of these projects, so both of them being, this could be the branching point not only for Volume 2 but also for Evermorrow as well.
Fun fact, the other mission is another reference to another RWBY fan project that I don't think a lot of people have heard of.
Oh, really? What is it?
Yeah. So a while ago, I actually don't know if it's still up, but Miku Rurun, who's an artist on Twitter, had a comic on, I think it was Webtoon, for quite a long time about Team RWBY going to a resort and having to fight this sea Grimm. And that's what that's a reference to.
Okay, that's what the octopus thing was about.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait.
What other people think it is. Please.
Wait, is that in any way related to RWBY the Session?
No, I haven't read RWBY the Session. This was Miku's one of her old works. It was actually one of the first works that made me find Miku Rerun, and Miku has done glorious art. I love Miku's art. It's so tasty.
Interesting, because I just like that sounds very similar to what happens from what I know in RWBY the Session. I have it up. Someone did a fan translation of it that I've been meaning to read, but I haven't gotten around to it. That is famously the one that like it's the official RWBY product with all of them in swimsuits. And whenever anyone gets on my case, we're like, "Oh, you're looting the girls," and I'm like, "I don't know what." We're not any more worse than
Yeah.
Yeah, but you
swimsuits.
you didn't even do that.
Yeah.
Everyone gets all up in arms about the onsen scene, and it's like you're legitimately
No.
trying to show like an aspect of Asian culture, and everyone's just like screaming at you. Meanwhile,
you didn't even-
swimsuits.
I mean, yeah.
It's not hentai, lame. Deterex.
Damn it, Dawn.
We
Okay,
had
we're
so many
silencing him for the
people.
rest of the stream.
No.
Yeah.
Let him goon in
No.
peace.
People took that and ran with it.
You're right. He has his own goon cube. Like Juice.
Yes, yeah. The
Oh,
goon tube.
Actually, a little token of appreciation about that shot. When RWBY reads the lines, she's actually reading exactly what is written. Like,
Oh,
if,
wow.
if you would
Oh.
like really screen grab, like she's saying exactly that.
Nice.
Soul fixed my laziness and added that personally. And there's a couple of Easter eggs on these message boards. If you have a
Okay.
closer look, there's a couple of Easter eggs, and I won't say what they are, but you should totally read
Yeah.
them.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Iron
Pause and read.
Village Village.
Sorry, you gotta read this time.
Yeah, you gotta use your eyes, guys. Look,
No audiobooks here.
I want to see the theories. I want to see what you all think is happening. I'm so interested.
Perimeter defense, escort op, grim culling.
Hmm.
People did want to highlight, of course, how Blake's Riven moves like her ears,
Yeah.
which is it's such a cute touch. I know
Yeah.
Critter already commented on that, and I know you watched the video, but it's so appreciable.
I want to shout out AJ Crimson Malguido for that shot. Wonderful work.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite. I love when Blake's ears just do little twitches under the bow. It happens a couple of times in the episode. It's not just this shot. If you keep an eye on, you see them.
Okay.
We had the same kind of reaction with Yugo and Wakfu too.
Right, because like Yugo's, I don't know if you guys have seen Wakfu. Anyone here? Anyone seen Wakfu?
No, I'm uncultured.
I do recommend.
Okay,
it.
you're in the same
I
boat
live
where I'm
under a
at.
rock.
Yeah. I do recommend it. It's a wild show that goes from like 1 to 1,000 at times.
Yeah.
It's a French adventure. It kind of, I said it before, but it feels like a real successor to like Avatar: The Last Airbender, just a little jankier.
Oh,
Yeah,
I've
got
always heard it like compared to that in a lot of spaces in the animation community.
a European that hasn't seen Wakfu sacrilege. Yeah.
Oh my god!
All right, Tom. Apparently, he has very strong opinions over there.
listen,
Um,
I haven't even watched
Childhood.
Avatar. I am very uncultured. Okay, RWBY is all I watch.
Sorry.
I know.
Oh,
I'm
Lord.
sorry. I'm sorry. I
Sorry,
was
we are
busy
no
making
longer
an episode
friends.
of RWBY. I'm sorry.
What? Well, technically, you have no excuses because Wakfu came out before RWBY. It came out in
Wow.
2008.
Sorry, I'm blind. I can't watch anime. Next question.
Damn, no
Nameless
wonder
says,
she can't read.
Nameless says, since I began tuning in regularly a few months ago, I had a question. What does JYCT stand for in terms of the people who form the acronym? It was originally Judgmental, Young Kaiser, Celtic Phoenix, and Twilight Guardian. That was JYCT. Because Judgmental Critter had to drop out due to just time constraints. We didn't really have a J for a while, but now it's the Jester's Fiat, the airship that is the framing device of this entire podcast. That's the J in the JYCT now. So that's where the name comes from. And Titan Executor, it's Wakfu, Wakfu. It's got 4 seasons, an OVA, and it has a movie. Not really a prequel. It's like hundreds of years before, but it's called Dofus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't
They
forget about the
all
game.
started off as MMO RPGs, and they've just been expanding the lore of the Cosmos throughout all of these different multimedias. They have the 3 to 4 MMOs. They have Dofus, Wakfu, they have another Dofus game, and now they have Waven, which just came out. And they have the anime movie Dofus, Book 1 Julith. They have the anime Wakfu, and Wakfu is now getting its final season. That'll be out in a couple of years, I think. They just finished their Kickstarter campaign for it. And they're also starting on an anime based in Waven called Bestial.
Just a heads up, though. Wakfu, the first half of the first season can feel a bit rough because it's like the way I put it is there are a bunch of Flash game animators that decided to make an anime. So you will feel a lot like you're about to start a Flash game from Newgrounds in like the late the late 20-aughts.
Yeah.
But like once you get to like there's an island. Once you get there, the plot really starts to tick up and like everything starts to click into place.
It's so good.
You guys threw me for such a blast from the past. Like Wakfu, that was my life. I remember failing an exam because I was just too busy playing that goddamn game.
And someone said, Wakfu is French though. Don't we dislike the French? I mean, we can still dislike the French. I mean, that doesn't stop us.
Hey.
Listen,
We love the art. We hate the people.
exactly. We
Nah,
listen. They gave us
we're
Arcane
friends.
season 1. Okay,
Yeah.
we gotta give them the pass.
We can have a little bit of baguettes with our hon.
Yeah.
So they all decide to go on this, Beowulf hunting mission, and the remainder of the episode after this is just it's almost straight up action combat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
I
think
love
of how
this
to
joke too.
Well,
Well,
Well, it's a good question because like Beowulf, how do you pluralize that? It's based after a name that is a singular. So multiple
Yeah.
Beowulfs would be Beowulfs, technically speaking. Like, how does that work? They also gave us Code Lyoko. Yeah, they gave us Code Lyoko. And
Oh right, I keep forgetting that. I always keep thinking of Code Lyoko as Italian, not French.
No, you're thinking of Witch.
Yeah, I'm thinking
No,
of Witch. They
is
have
it-
like a similar design with like fucking the backgrounds and
Witch
stuff.
is
It's some shade of
Italian
brown.
and Winx is French, right? Or is
no,
Winx and...
Winx is Italian. Yeah.
Oh, so
Winx
then,
is Italian.
then Witch
Winx
is
is
French. I think.
Italian?
Yes.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, that explains a lot, doesn't it?
Totally Spies is also French. That explains a lot.
Yeah, that one.
Well,
was
it's French Canadian.
That explains a lot.
In
In fact, that explains even more.
Our shows.
Did someone say Code Lyoko? Yes, we did say Code Lyoko. Sack Code Lyoko.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, I'm trying to think of like good questions
Okay.
now as we go into the action.
Oh yeah,
AK Motions
is-
did like the next minute of animation.
Hey, yeah, it could coax
Yeah.
here.
absolutely. This is really
possessed.
going really well.
Yeah.
And of course
They
the
must
music
take
is awesome. I mean,
Yeah,
the
go
music has
Hannah.
been go Hannah, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to ask a little bit about that.
Okay, good,
before
because I
get
need to use the
into-
restroom and get a drink.
Okay. I have a couple questions. One about the soundtrack and one about the animation, or I guess the statement about the animation. So turn the page. This is part of the big highlight of this episode. I think in a lot of people's opinions. So what was your thought process when like making this song in particular?
God, I hope it sounds like Jeff Williams.
Definitely.
We spent so much time, like the whole team spent so much time studying every aspect of the RWBY music. One of our music team, Shivo, he like reached out to literally like members of like OK Goodnight and was like, hey, like what pedals does Jeff use and stuff like that. And just watching, because like Jeff doesn't really talk about his rig that much because he kind of, from what we can gather, just kind of uses what feels right in the moment.
So he's more like
and-
a pantser in that regard. Okay.
Yeah, it's difficult when you're trying to replicate something like that because the kind of the key to the formula is him. It's just what WWJD, what would Jeff do?
Yeah.
And so yeah, it was just a lot of studying and trying to like find the common aspects between like what makes a song sound like a RWBY song. And I think honestly with Turn the Page, like my big fear, I was like, I really hope it doesn't fall into Uncanny Valley. Like, so
No,
so
I doubt
I'm-
that. Honestly, one aspect I really love about the full song, because of course the link to the full track along with the rest of the soundtrack is in the description of that video. What I really love is the fact that, you know, it's the song that like actually sounds like all four of the main girls are singing, which I find really, really enjoyable.
Hmm.
Thank you. That was an idea I was very excited for, and I will never do it again.
Okay. That's
Because-
unfortunate.
Because I had just because like I had the idea for it to have like, you know, thinking of songs like Nevermore and War where you actually have like multiple singers covering like different characters and everything. I was like, you know, kind of like Psy has always said a lot. Like we're trying to do Ruby at Home. We're trying to do like the Ruby girls are so back and everything. So I was like, you know, let's put a focus on these four girls. Let's characterize them in the song. But that means finding four singers.
Yes.
And finding and shout out to Shoya, Avery, Noel, and Rose because they fucking killed it.
Oh, I didn't realize Noel
try-
did this song. Oh,
Yeah,
Why-
yeah.
I never get told
Noel-
anything. Noel.
Noel was the saving grace of this song because that fourth singer slot was so cursed trying to find somebody who could do it.
Damn.
We had people who had to drop out and people who like couldn't get studio time and everything. Like the first three were fine, but but Noel really saved this song.
She's a
with that-
godsend
with that singer slot.
for the original
Absolutely, yeah.
project that I'm working on, Stellar Sentinels. We have a bit of music going into it, and she was a huge help in getting all that squared away. Mostly because some of the music is in Japanese, so that definitely she speaks fluent Japanese, so that helps a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, all of them are fantastic, honestly.
Yes.
And even though I can imagine how much of a pain it is to actually do this again, which is unfortunate, but the effort alone just in this song serves as a really, really good opener, in my opinion, for just the rest of the show and the main focus you want to put, which is on, you know, the core cast, which is excellent. And about the what was it? I guess the actual like the lyrics and idea of the song that's trying to convey. How did you decide on that?
Well, this song, like, we went through so many different iterations on this song. This was the 7th version of this song that we landed on, which is like the Bayo fight in general.
Right.
It really the key thing I was trying to keep in my head was just that, like, you know, Team RWBY is so back. We're so back. Like,
Yeah.
so I wanted something that kind of had the energy of like the food fight and like that kind of like something that was or like kind of like some of the Vital tournament music, like something that was just like, it's the first episode, it's this new thing, and we just, you know, got the girls being the girls. And then there was obviously like the fairy tale inspiration with like turn the page, like the pages of, of the book and everything.
Honestly, that's really great.
A lot of it stemmed from, I kind of had the idea to like have the four girls sing and then wrote everything based off of that. A lot of the second half of the song or the second verse, that was completely based on, I knew I wanted Abby R. Weiss. I knew I wanted her to go, what's that supposed to mean? And I wrote the rest of the verse around that.
RWBY U. I love RWBY U.
Yeah, RWBY U, new team.
It's really, really good. And also because Smaller Soul is just, you know, sparing how much he loves in the chat. The sound design in this fight is
immaculate.
Masterclass.
Yes.
Honestly.
Soul
is
slaved
incredible.
at this for so long, and it came out glorious.
I remember he kept messaging me, like he gives me little peeks behind the curtain. He's like, I did this really cool thing, and I want to show up to someone, but I can't right now. You're the only person that I can, because I know. And so he like gushes to me about his work, and I'm like, man, dude, that's crazy. Why do you hurt yourself like this?
Yeah, Soul was like,
Marcus
oh,
Kane.
I want to recreate every single, like, the sounds we need from RWBY from scratch. And I'm like, why don't you just take assets from the show sometimes? So I was like, no, I must do it all originally.
Well, even
I need to have
better,
control.
take
I need
it.
to do it.
Take it like one thing that we do for our project, which is just simplified everything. Take shit from the video game from Grimm Eclipse.
Yeah,
That's
no, I
true.
suggested that, and Soul was like, nah, I'm gonna recreate it from scratch.
Dude, seriously, Soul is like the Artur of fucking sound design with RWBY fan projects. I swear to God.
Oh, I
It was-
literally can never be an atheist because like Soul is about like seeing the evidence with my own eyes.
Careful, you gotta be careful not to
understand.
inflate his ego too much. All right, he's already Australian.
Damn, poor Soul, he can't even defend himself.
Yeah.
But if I could get the chance to just, inflate a tiny bit, every shot of the gun, every pounding in the ground, every cut, it has that bite to it. It has that energy and it keeps fucking going. It's really, really great. And of course, the actual choreography and animation, Gizmo, and everybody else involved in this, you guys are the champions here.
Yeah, AK's the one who animated this. AK does glorious work. He is
Incredible
a Monty disciple. Very, very. He just kind of appeared one day with like 80% of this animated and was like, "Yeah, guys, here's some free for all."
Oh, so they already had some of it.
No. So initially, when we were planning out this episode, it was going to be 2 fight animators, and it was going to be someone's in charge of the free for all section, and someone's
Right.
in charge of the Wiess and RWBY section. And AK was always going to be in charge of the free for all section and the Yang solo, or it's meant to be kind of like a Yang and Blake area.
Right.
And AK just kind of said, okay, disappeared for about 3 weeks and came back and was like, is this good? And had the entire free-for-all section, which is everything up until Yang punches the Grimm with the impact frame. And it was like, what? Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep going. Like,
And then the Yang section happened, and it's beautiful, and God, it's lovely. I love the sequence so much. Even if it was a pain to fucking render, I did.
So we got a question from the chat. Why did you change the plot of Dusk Queen when adapting it from the fic?
Because the fic sucked, and the plans for the fic sucked. It just...
Really
I
didn't
figured
work.
that was going to be the answer, but I
Yeah.
thought,
It didn't work. Like, the fanfic was going to go down a completely different path, and then when Soul actually joined the project, Soul came into a VC one day and was like, okay, what's the plot of Dusk Queen? And I was like, and Soul was like, what do you mean, And I was like, He's like, oh, that's not good. So we spent like,
I heard that in his voice.
4 months rebuilding it from scratch, and it's
Damn.
great. I much prefer what we have coming up. Like, the story that's going to be happening is glorious. I love it so much. It's so much better.
All right, got you. And one thing that I wanted to highlight, of course, my biggest slight criticism of the show, and honestly, it's mainly kind of a nitpick, but it might be something worth considering for the rest of the series going forward. I think I posted this on Twitter. I retweeted to the Dusk Queen Twitter account, posting the first episode. I don't know if any of y'all saw it already.
There's a lot of notifications. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's perfectly fair.
There's a lot
No,
of preamble to this point.
No, okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, point is that one slight thing that I might say is that it probably would have been a bit better story-wise to showcase a little bit more, I guess, combo attacks in the semi-free-for-all Blake Yang section.
Yeah.
Because
I entirely agree. It was initially supposed to, and it just there was a bit of someone had to pull out who was going to do the choreography, so it was going to be kind of a tag team effort, and then the other tag of the team had to drop due to reasons. So it all kind of fell on AK's shoulders, which AK took in his stride. He did wonderfully. But that's
No,
why
totally.
kind of some of it was kind of trimmed down a little bit. Like there was a time allowance for about, I think it was like a minute in total, or whatever the fight kind of came out to be. It was about a minute of animation. That was the time allowance because it wasn't scripted. Like this entire section, I think the script just said AK fight sequence here. Like there was no
Yeah, George
direction.
Lucas it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of they
There
fight.
was no direction for AK. Like when the other half had to drop, who was going to be in charge of RWBY and Wiess, we had to scramble together a script and a storyboard. And the storyboard artists, it was Yuri and Cindy who scrapped together like a wonderful storyboard in the end, and it came out beautifully towards the end. So
No, if that's the case, on such short notice, this still ended up really, really well. It just, you know, when I was watching it, it kind of felt a tiny bit lacking in that area because, you know, it would much better emphasize the conflict between RWBY and Wiess and them struggling with their teamwork. So it would have really been much stronger to have that comparison. But with this context in mind, I can understand. But even aside from that, it doesn't really matter.
My interesting thought on that is you could spin it in a way that's actually a positive, in that Blake and Yang, they feel comfortable not needing to work together when it doesn't suit them, as opposed to RWBY and Wiess, who kind of force it together. I don't know if that's like the best interpretation you can get out of it, but that's one way to look at it, I think.
That's an interesting thought. I hadn't considered that.
My critique for this particular area, and it was something that I noticed when Soul showed me a clip from it before launch, so I got to see sneak peek things. This is what happens when you're friends with people. You can see things ahead of time.
For real.
Yep.
But I found the camera a little distracting, and I know he's already raised that point with you guys before.
yeah.
And I know you guys already have that in mind. I just thought I'd kind of throw it out there as a, like, the camera can get a little frantic and you lose track of things a little bit at times.
Yeah, I think that's less the camera and more the background. So this entire sequence was animated without the forest in it. And when you added the forest into it, it got a little disorienting. Even in like the last 36 hours before we published the episode, we were trying to figure that out. There's a lot of like directional blur on the characters during kind of more of the scenes where the camera whips around a lot to try and help fix that disorientation. But that's just kind of an artifact of animating without the background and on like a gray plane. It just kind of adds a few inconsistencies regarding that. But yeah, that is something we're aware of. It'll be a lot more controlled during the next fight sequences.
Okay, all right, neato. So I'm gonna be under NDA from now on, so no more Tom Holland moments from me. No, no! I didn't mean to get you in trouble. No.
Yeah.
I love how the
It's also
grass
fault.
and sky was done. In good job who made them. Yeah, that is actually good. The technical effects of the background are very nice. What all went into that exactly?
So it's all just kind of Blender magic. So the really cool thing is technically, this is all just one plane. With geometry nodes in Blender, they're extremely powerful. So we just have like, I think it's 2 or 3 tree variations, the bushes, the grass, and the textures, obviously. But everything there is painted onto the ground. So there's a floor plane that's like subdivided, so it's got a lot of polygons on it. And you just kind of use a paintbrush type tool and you say, hey, I want a path to be in the dirt here. And you'll paint a line in the dirt and that'll be where the path is. And then you can kind of populate the scene around it. Then like the background is just kind of replications of that. Then it just kind of loops around. So there's a couple PNGs in there to kind of help with resources and stuff. And then like for rendering, then it's just hit render. You add a depth pass or a mist pass, which is how you got that blue haze in the shot. And then you just kind of cobble it together. There's some ambient occlusion in there as well to help with like shadows. Because the thing with RWBY, they render their backgrounds very differently to their characters. In Rooster Teeth, they used to use a thing called Redshift, which renders everything without the cell shading, of the characters. which is, it's hard to replicate in Blender. We could have used cycles, but the program we used didn't like cycles, so some shots had cycles and some didn't have cycles. It depended on how much time we had for the render.
Right.
But yeah, it's I do like how the forests came out towards the end. They're very blue. I appreciate the blue.
Yeah.
So Jose Galagarza says, I think the highlight for me is at the end with Ruby catching herself from falling after beating the last Grimm. I love that animation. That was a really nice touch.
That was so
that was
cute.
Yeah.
That's another great one from Crimson.
Another Crimson
Yeah.
oldie. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Crimson. He's so good at the like he honestly excels so much in like very animated, cartoony kind of stuff. Like his facial expressions and just like the it's so chef's kiss.
Very tasty.
Every time you
Very
put something
tasty.
out, it's tasty.
Absolutely.
Eat that shit up.
It's just like the idea of cutting the frames, just so cute, so cute.
It's glorious. I love it so much. Crimson actually, we did the shot as well. You can actually see Crimson's like spread of talent in this episode is crazy. Crimson did the shot as well where Ruby's like doing the gushing thing and reaching towards Wiess for Damascus Spear. He did this one with Ruby, but he also did the shot before where Ruby hops up onto Weiss's glyph and blasts off at the speed of light. Like the talent range and the acting range in terms of animation is jaw-dropping. I love Crimson's work. It's so tasty. I love everyone's work, but
Yeah.
Smaller
I
soul.
think also when Ruby does a backflip and like cuts the Grimm up is also one of the shots that Crimson worked on.
yeah, the
Beautiful,
backflip
beautiful
with
magic.
Crescent Rose is crazy.
Yep.
We worked on that so long. I think it took like about a week to get that right, with a lot of like going back and forth to really make that one pop.
It's so beautiful. Such beautiful
It's so
shot.
beautiful.
Smaller-
Animation.
I could die.
Soul says, how to composite a Ruby shot. Step 1, draw a circle. Step 2, composite the rest of the Ruby shot.
Do the rest. Yeah.
And he also does want to praise you a little bit. Can we talk about how Sai basically composited the entire episode by herself, all while learning new software and developing custom plugins and tools for it?
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That is great.
So we hopped a lot between programs. We went from we went from After Effects. I was in After Effects, and Soul was like, "We're going to use DaVinci," and I was like, "We're not going to use DaVinci," and then we ended it the rest in DaVinci.
As someone who has become adores Da Vinci now, yeah, I understand. That.
Yeah. It was fun. Like, I kind of learned DaVinci Fusion in like a night because we were coming into Crunch. I think I started learning DaVinci in like April or February, and we were starting to come into Crunch towards the final episode. And within like a week of picking DaVinci up, Sol was like, "Hey, can you make it like a tool that will turn off the audio clips that I have a color assigned to?" And I was like, "Say less." And I made like a stem rendering tool with Python that was like an internal program for DaVinci within like 2 days of downloading DaVinci and starting to use it professionally. So the ADHD went ADHD there, but yeah, the DaVinci is fun. We love free tools, kind of free asterisks, if you want to use Studio, but we love DaVinci.
I just recently got Studio, and it's really nice.
DaVinci Studio is tasty. I love DaVinci. I like DaVinci in like opposed to After Effects. After Effects is a layered based approach, while DaVinci is nodes. So you can't really copy settings across easily in After Effects. Like sequence 1, I basically rebuilt the shot every single time from scratch with all the fog, which was very painful. But for like 8K sequence, we had to recompile 8K sequence like the day before the episode came out, and I got it done in a day just because of how much easier it is to use in DaVinci with the nodes. So like there's compositing's hard, but I think it came out okay.
Yeah, it looks great. The only I'm remembering Judge Mel Creer talk about that one scene where Ruby was weirdly lit.
Yes, that was an oopsie. That was an oopsie daisy. She's meant to be green. She does have highlights in the rest of the shots. You just can't see it because they're green.
Also, Crimson is here. He says y'all making me blush. It's just took a while.
Yeah.
And so is Saito. Saito is also here. I think my one complaint to an otherwise amazing episode is that Ruby would not scrape her child Crescent Rose with a rock.
We don't talk about that shot. We don't talk about that. Next question.
Okay, I kind of interpret that as like, I mean, there was not anything else around.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I feel like she just needed something to actually scrape the ice off. But also, the animation there, it felt kind of jank, but like in the way that it reminded me of Volume 1 RWBY. So it's like I felt right at home. like it worked in your favor. Yeah, I don't know how
this is my cringe.
It's cringe, but it's ours.
Yes. Let's see. I know someone asked if we're going to have unique Grimm designs, and I think that was in the trailer, wasn't it?
Yeah. We had a cool guest design our Grimm designs that I can't say for legal reasons, but we had a cool guest design some custom Grimm designs that go crazy.
Aiden is asking why use different Grimm colors.
So the Grimm in the show. So here's the funny thing with the Grimm is that colors are hard and I'm stupid and I changed the Grimm colors a few times. But the Grimm kind of change colors depending on how they're composited. So sometimes they'll look a lot more green because black is in color theory, black is a color that kind of absorbs the color around it. So even though it's black, it looks kind of green. That's just color being funky. But in the show, they're a bit too dark. If they were super duper dark in the shot, they'd kind of get lost a little bit. Right. Which is more color theory, but like there's some stuff, I think Judgmental said it as well in their video, regarding like the Grimm's masks being too dull, and that's also being fixed. Like there's some things that was definitely like the Grimm were very much that's done. I think we didn't change the Grimm rig like past like July or something. The Grimm rig hasn't been touched in a long time.
Okay.
John.
But like there's some stuff like there will be fixes regarding episode 2 kind of going forward where you see some stuff that gets changed and updated in terms of like colors.
That is exciting. So we've got some good-natured bickering going on.
Oh yeah, the wives fighting. Yeah. Someone posted a clip on Twitter where it's like May 31st they're fighting, July or June 1st they're kissing. It was great.
Oh my
god. Again, to all the fans, no, it's not my jar to put the dollar in.
It's my jar.
Okay. Originally, I have a question about like Wiess freezing crescent rows, but I'm not gonna ask about it because I'm actually thinking about it.
Anything but
it might lead into something. No, it might lead into something a little bit later, and I have my guesses about that. So I'm gonna keep that to myself.
Oh, I know what you're talking. Okay, yeah.
I mean, I don't have too much more to comment on myself. I don't think it's mostly just like the characters are moving and like very good animation and just voice acting. I'll say like it's Zippy, right?
Yeah, Zippy.
Yeah, Zippy. I didn't quite like the delivery of Yang here. It didn't feel loud enough. I think I might have actually said that during the read-through. I'm not entirely sure. I feel like there's sometimes that Zippy sometimes struggle to get loud with Yang.
There's a few things with Zippy, and Zippy, if you're listening, I love you so much. But
you're
sometimes
great.
getting the higher range is a very difficult, considering Zippy's a guy voice acting a female character, so getting that high into that vocal range can sometimes be a little bit difficult.
I never guessed. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I actually I didn't want to presume. I didn't know if Zippy was trans or was just a guy.
No, Zippy is biologically a male. He's just got a very talented voice.
It's impressive as hell. I will say that is impressive as hell. That he
it's crazy because Zippy, some of Zippy's takes for like the fight sounds for Yang sounded too much like RWBY. Like they were too high-pitched. Like
he's not trans, he's just built different.
Yeah.
Celtic men sexist again. I'm trying not to.
And then turn around and do like heavy metal screaming. It's so bizarre. Like
legitimately with Zippy, like when I first met him as a transgender woman, I was like, it's not fair. Let's- It's like, give me your voice.
Yeah, he's built different for sure.
The voice
Yeah,
stealer.
That's why some of the vocal ranges just don't get quite up there. But yeah, there's a biological reason for that, aka Zippy's voice would break. So
Okay.
we've got some interesting lines in episode 2 that's going to be interesting to try and record for, but we'll see what happens.
Every single lead here
Sure.
did an incredible job, and talented person Rocket and Farah both lead us to victory. Hana helped the team nail the songs. Garlic created godlike rigs that I was able to break. Smiley face.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Crim's
The rigs are
Jose
perfect, you can't
Gallagher
break
said, Zippy, you mean Zippy is better than Barbara. Okay, look, Barbara.
we don't compare.
Okay, I was gonna say, Zippy is more consistent than Barbara. Barbara falls on a much wider spectrum of quality. She can sometimes do some amazing work, and then there are
Yeah.
times where she is more wooden than a plank of oak. So,
Yeah.
it's kind of pick your poison. Do you want
Not just
consistency,
Yang's
or
character.
do you want
No.
someone that might blow it out of the water or completely tank it? That also too, like, you got Yang to contend with as a character. So,
That as well.
correction, that Celtic Phoenix is sexist. I was asking. I didn't know. I was trying to be cautious.
I knew it.
Getting cancelled again. Let's go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh God. I'm gonna go back to me being canceled for the onsen. I'd much rather that. That was more enjoyable.
It's okay. I got cancelled for being ableist when the trailer dropped. We can be cancel friends.
Yay! Oh, it can be as canceled as was a dishwasher that gave the art of the behind the scenes.
Oh yeah.
And Yang's arm. God,
Oh, yeah.
there are some silly
I
people
love
in the
this fandom
fandom.
sometimes.
Yeah.
It's glorious.
Hey, we at least keep it interesting, you know?
I bet those people don't even go back to watch volumes 1 and 2 because that means that they're ableist.
And you can only watch the last
Twilight's
episode of
spitting
3.
Fire here, goddamn.
Yeah.
Own it.
Would be worse if you could be canceled like that one Mormon guy. What one? Oh yeah, fuck! I forgot about it.
Guy?
That's how irrelevant he was, but I forgot about that guy.
The bane
What are
of
we talking
everyone's
about?
existence.
He was the guy that tried to do his
No.
own RWBY AU project. That was like he had a huge push
Oh,
for it.
Oh, that guy. Wait, is it the AI guy? Or
No,
Oh,
it's his name is literally Mormon because that was his handle online. But like,
Yeah.
he would hang around the Ruby
Oh.
critic server, and he would just like bash on every single fan project, especially fixing Ruby. And then all of a sudden,
no.
he's just like, "Yeah, I want to make my own AU,
With
and I'm gonna
blackjacks and
like contact Raven to get him to help me with my series." Even
that
though
was
that's
bizarre
so
learning
much.
that this was the guy that had been slagging me behind my back for like literal years.
Yeah.
And he's
Oh,
like,
what-
hey,
dude, this-
audacity.
he reached
Dog,
out very
this is
politely, like, and there may be things I disagree with on your work, but I would very much admire your help, and I'd be willing to
Yeah.
pay. I'm like, I don't really have the time, dude. And I learned from Twilight who he wasn't. Oh, man, I'm glad I told him to fuck
Yeah, you
off.
dodged that bullet, dude. This would be
Yeah.
like fucking J. Jonah Jameson,
Like,
after bad
he would
mouthing
get
Spider-Man,
so
just wanting to talk
nasty
to him for
at
like a charity
me.
event.
for like defending any kind of criticism that was levied against him that wasn't like like nitpicks or
Oh, I would
talking,
imagine.
even explaining like the cultural aspect of the onsen scene. I was deemed like a fucking weirdo for trying to explain to these people about culture that they probably don't know anything about.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ruby fandom.
Yeah.
Fandom doing
Don't talk
fandom
to
things.
Don't talk to the Ruby fandom. They haven't watched the show.
Fucking real. No, especially this past week. Absolute facts. Oh my god.
Oh.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have Yang playing Mama Bear, obviously.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
Mom and dad are mad at the kids. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
for real.
fighting.
I love how they just casually, like, Yang is just like, yeah, we still have Weiss's card. You think another therapy session? It's like-
That was actually an impromptu take. The line originally was, what are we going to do with them or something? And we were in recording with Zippy, and Sol was like, why don't we just change this to be something funnier? And that's what was birthed out of that scene. It was hilarious. It was so much better than the original line. I love it. It's such a funny line because the context is like Yang has stole Weiss's card at some point, or they've tried therapy and it hasn't fucking worked.
If I have any suggestion for future episodes, having Ruby and Weiss have a moment where they're trying to work together and like just reference back that like, let's try that thing from therapy.
Oh my God.
And they do like a breathing exercise or something together and it still doesn't fucking work.
Yeah, Weiss, this is not what the therapist told us to work together. This is not the concrete, the fucking tactics. Weiss.
She just
would
immediately
be
throws another
hilarious,
ice chunk at her.
Yeah.
Of course,
Yes.
the lovebirds moment.
The lovebirds. Yeah, half the White Rose
hard.
fandom are worshipping that scene at the minute. It's glorious.
There's
You're
so
welcome.
much
I
fan
feel you.
art. I have no
Yeah.
hesitation saying I am so jealous how much fan art you get.
I feel like that meme with the man and the llama, where it's just like, here, take the White Rose art.
And what it is part of the show. What am I supposed to do, Titan?
But also kudos to Momo for animating that. Like,
Yeah, I love
Incredible
that
stuff.
shot.
Yeah, it's very sweet.
Yeah. Of course, people are asking about new Grimm designs. Well, I think we kind of get a hint at one here.
Yeah. Who's he?
who's
Who's
that
that
guy?
boy?
Oh.
Who's that boy?
A kitsune?
Who's that boy? Pet that boy.
And
Were those multiple tails?
those are multiple tails.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah,
He is
that was my first guess.
Being a part of the show is a social construct. Put another one in the jar. Shut Titan!
Yeah.
I love how
yeah.
the chat just bullies you.
They bully me. It's great.
Nah, yeah.
Is it Rudolph the reindeer? Yes. It's Rudolph the reindeer.
Confirmed.
It's Rudolph the
I don't know,
Red-Nosed
man.
Reindeer.
Did you see any hooves?
Oh.
Oh.
But yes,
yeah, that's it
episode
for
one.
the episode.
all the
Yeah.
credits, all the different Yang designs you have up here.
Support the team. Yeah, we love Dabu. This is from before the trailer was even in progress. Dabu helped with the Yang and the RWBY design, and they're glorious.
Awesome. And I'm guessing, the art for like the different designs you had in mind are also on your Patreon or something.
No, the designs are actually public. So if you want to join the public Discord, I'm pretty sure it's on Twitter somewhere. The designs / models for the characters are just available for you to come look at. So if you want to come Google the character designs, you can.
I don't know how I
Download
missed
on the
this
YouTube
one
video.
frame.
I love that drawing.
Yes, wow. She makes the
Wow.
most beautiful.
This is still my
like,
favorite
things
Duskman
as
fan
well.
art. It's so good.
That one and the This Is Fine drawing with Weiss surrounded with ice. I love those two.
Yeah.
They're my favorite.
It's fantastic.
Oh,
Like, how really just pops off with like drawing a lot of fan art. Like one thing that we do in the Discord server is like a server banner contest, and like the stuff
Mhm.
that they've made for it, like every time is so beautiful.
It's gorgeous. Yeah.
Like, all the fan
Oh,
art.
and I love the touch of the
pick it up.
production pets as well. That's really cute.
Yeah, all the
Yeah.
babies.
Yeah.
carry that over from
all the
actual
babies.
The babies. All the babies got mentioned.
And
So,
the
yeah.
babies. Pat, pat, pat,
Kaiser, you had more questions?
I
I thought you
other
said you had
than
some
the
at
ones
at
I've.
the end.
Oh. I think I kind of just belted out all the questions I had. Actually, I thought you would have a lot more than you did, so I just presumed I would leave a lot more, a bit more at the end. But one is, I mean, I you probably already got asked this already, just ever since this came out, and especially since it started blowing up. But what is the time frame are you working with right now for the next episode?
Episode 2 when?
Yeah, is it like a Linkara thing where it's like it's out when it's out, or do you already have
It's-
something
yeah.
in mind?
So at the
Alright,
minute, it is
alright,
Yeah.
calm down.
when
Calm
we
down, don't
get
get 'em.
more information regarding time wise and stuff, we'll know. But the episode is out a week. Please let me rest.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
so
No, that's
tired.
perfectly fair. I'm not even. No, that's absolutely fair. I was just wondering if y'all already had something in mind for
we
that
have
or not.
we
but-
have a we hope for it to be done within a certain amount of time. However, we also hoped for episode 1 to be out summer last year. So we all know our hopes and dreams die. So like we don't know yet. But yeah, we have a plan for how long it'll take, but I'm not going to say anything because it'll come back to bite me in the ass.
The reason I review is because people always were asking me when volume 7. I'm just sitting there. I'm like, guys, I'm working.
I mean, we had the episode announcement was literally just when is episode 1 coming out, like 400 times. It was great. I love that video.
Right.
What happened to Dustcoin?
What
It's just
Whatever happened to
Dustcoin?
Dustcoin?
People don't understand that animation takes time.
Yeah, I mean, we
Yeah,
spent
definitely.
like 1.5 years on like 12 minutes of animation. I mean, there's a lot of like modeling and like storyboarding and like all the jam like put
Mhm.
together. So we're hoping with that to be
Yeah.
able to get through it
So,
sooner.
Partially,
know.
the reason episode 1 did take as long as it took was because we were also building a studio and an asset library around it at the same time. Like we had to make the models and make the storyboards and stuff, and that all happened after the trailer had released. Like none of it had existed. So we have already gotten a head start on episode 2 in some aspects. Like a lot of the stuff is already in progress, like quite deeply in terms of pre-production. So the hope is that it'll take longer or shorter, not longer.
That's on you.
That's a Freudian slip.
slip if I heard
We're
one.
gonna
Shorter,
it's gonna take
shorter.
3 years this time.
Hell yeah.
But like, yeah, it'll come out when it comes out. Like when we have more concrete updates, we'll definitely provide it to people. But for now, we don't have anything that I want to say because all my leads will drown me when we go back to the production server, and I value my life a little bit, so I'm not going to say anything.
That's
Yeah, that's
fair.
totally
Yeah.
fair.
It's also like we do all of this in our free time for free. Like we have
Yes.
our jobs, our
Yeah.
lives to do. So like this is just like a major love letter to RWBY that is just
Absolutely.
honestly created on pure fucking talent of everyone in the team.
Yeah.
But also just straight up passion and probably like a million monsters and coffees.
Yeah,
know.
it's been definitely worth it in this case, and I hope I never, don't come off as like, oh, rushing with that question. It was just something that I know
No,
for a
you're
fact that a
fine.
lot of people had in
No.
mind, and I just want that. I think it was good to have it just on the record, really.
Yeah, it's a common enough
Yeah.
question. I can understand people kind of when RWBY usually releases, it's usually a week. So I understand the hype and the expectations and whatnot. But yeah,
Well,
it'll
because
come out.
everyone
It'll
assumes
be
you
really
are
interesting.
actually RWBY at this point.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
And one of the
Hey.
questions I gotta answer in the community server to say like, no, it's not official. No, it's not official. Listen, there's an FAQ. Read.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah,
say
but-
one great way to pass
go
the
ahead.
time while you wait for episode 2 is to rewatch episode 1 1,000 times.
Pretty
Yes.
much,
Yeah.
honestly.
Well, I was gonna say, do
For
you
us.
do you foresee expanding the team at all to try
Yes.
and okay?
We are.
Please apply if you're an
Please
animator or
apply.
a layout artist or a concept artist or
We're
an
a
environment
concept
artist.
artist. There is a link to apply for available roles in the description of episode 1. It's also on our website, which is www.grimtidings.com under volunteering. You can fill out a form and we will see it and we will judge you harshly based on your artwork. No, I'm joking. We'll judge you. Like it's if you get accepted into the team, if you don't hear back from us and you have applied, just give us a little time. We're also like reshuffling a lot of admin stuff on the inside for what we do have from, remnants of episode 1. So like do give us a little bit of time, but yeah, we will definitely be expanding the team. We want to, treat Dustqueen as much as a learning experience for, newer artists or people who've been inspired to animate. We want to treat it as a learning experience for them as well as just, it's another episode of Dustqueen. So yeah, there will be more hiring opportunities.
You
I
eat
say
Trigger,
hiring
don't you
last
dare!
year,
You're working on volume 7 right now. You're not going
Yeah.
anywhere.
Oh yeah, no, we're working on volume 10. Yeah.
The Epic Kyo says RWBY fans don't read in quotes. That's
Exactly.
Yeah.
One thing I
Um,
will say is like, please don't DM us saying that you want a voice on RWBY. Like when there's gonna be, we're receiving emails, like DMs and everything. It's like when we start looking for like voices again, like then go for it. But please, please, we're looking
Guys,
for animators
please
and
stop
whatnot.
emailing me saying you're a voice actor. I'm going to lose my mind. I get like 5 a day. If we're looking for voice actors, we'll put out a casting call like we have for
Yeah.
Please. People have been DMing me on my private account. Like, please leave me alone.
Hey, listen. There's this expression for a different voice actor I heard, and it's like voice acting isn't work that pays; it's work for work that pays, and they're looking for that work for work right now.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand it, but please, like, there's some really funny things. But like, please don't email us saying you're a voice actor. If we are looking for you, we will put out a specific voice acting call. If you do email us saying you're a voice actor, it's not guaranteed that we're going to keep your email. So
Right.
there's no point in really doing it because it won't be kept. So just be patient.
as
Be
someone
patient.
who has been on that edge, if you message me for any of my projects and say, hey, I want to do voice acting, or hey, I want to do this or that, completely unprompted, and it's like it makes me like it sours me towards you. It's like uncontrollable, but it's like middle of my day, I have other things I'm trying to take care of, and I haven't put out a call, and people are just unsolicited messaging me things. It's like
Yeah.
sometimes like I'm not saying that like sometimes it's not something good you get. Like I've actually befriended people through random emails, but like
Oh yeah.
it doesn't usually work out in people's favors.
Yeah,
So,
like you could
Yeah.
be the best animator or the best voice actor in the world, but if you email me unprompted, I'm not going to respond. Please don't.
What was it? This is what happens when people with big projects are burdened with success, and I'm just here doing funny reviews and dick jokes on the internet forever.
Like,
Hey,
man, I just want
Hey,
to
you're building a community, dude.
we are
like-
Dalen right now. we are Dalen right now, suffering from success.
No, y'all are conquest right now.
born to
suffering from
dilly-dally,
success.
The
forced to work on
big
Dustplane.
the big-breasted women are the voice actors and animators throwing themselves at
I'm sorry if you hear my uncle's dogs in the background. One of them is very yappy.
Oh.
Yep, yep.
Yep.
But yeah, do you guys have any further remarks you wanna comment on with all this?
I would not be here without my team. I owe my team my life. So
This project
please
is a
don't.
blast. Oh my
Please-
god.
Please support the entire team. It's not like Dusk Queen wouldn't exist without them at all. Like I got kind of dragged along for a big portion of it, but it wouldn't have been a thing without the rest of my team supporting me. So make sure you support the team and show them some love because they deserve it.
Sai, you handed us the
However-
opportunity of an absolute lifetime. Like you were like, you guys can work on like RWBY at home, and we were like, for real? Like it's incredible, absolutely.
Guys, you can make the Please Beast flirt on screen and get like a lot of views. Come work for me.
Totally.
Yeah, but I owe it all to you guys for making such a beautiful episode because I can't animate for shit, funny enough. So, yeah, thank you guys. Also support the
Guys.
Patreon.
So, yeah, so Celtic,
Smile.
if you are Dalen, you are Hitler. Okay, shut up. That's not the comparison we need to make, all right? Just because he's fantasy Hitler doesn't mean that I am or us are.
Yeah, for real.
We were just talking about suffering from success, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for the
Also,
record, that book
definitely-
just gets
Way.
wild. That
Yeah, it's really bad. But like also, you know, to everybody else on the team that are either in the chat or couldn't make it to the stream tonight, y'all are the fucking champions. Y'all did an excellent job with this episode, and I can't wait to see what you guys have next.
yeah, this is absolutely phenomenal.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Um,
Only love for the team. Like, goddamn, like we really pulled through, and it's so amazing to see. But like, you know, support us. We got a Patreon so that we can make things a little easier.
Yes,
On
please
like,
support us.
buying things.
We can get episode
And,
2
yeah.
out faster if you help support us. It'll definitely help us a lot in terms of software and pipeline management tools, which are our kind of two most expensive payments that we've been paying out of pocket for a while now. So anything will help It's all on the Grimm Tidings Patreon, which is in the description of the episode. So if you do have any extra love to give, it would be very, very much appreciated. And you get to play in the Minecraft server, which is always a benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah, check out the Patreon, watch the episode, stream the soundtrack, send Sai your VA reels. I mean, fuck that last one.
No.
Oh no! And the flood keeps coming in.
So we can do Deterex Art.
Oh my god, he's the one for all of us now.
Wait, what? Oh wait, hold on. Is it me with Raven now?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my,
hell
hold
yeah.
on. Yeah!
Oh, just blew out my ears.
God. Oh, sorry about that. But like, oh my god, he made me look like who's that character?
The
Jordan?
bronze kneecap.
Oh yeah, the bronze fucking
my God.
kneecap. That's great.
That's so
Pikachu
sick.
Spartan, I'll say again, thank you for
Oh
bringing
my
back
God.
Wiess Wushu inspired swordplay. Ooh, that's a good point.
Yeah. Well, you'll see some very fun things happening to Wiess in the future episodes.
I did not notice that, but that's awesome.
Yeah.
Does anyone have individually have anything they want to shout out? Anything they any individual works? Anyone?
Not really. I kind of vibe here.
Just Queen
I'm
is
kind
our
of
life.
living before.
This
Just
is
Queen
your
of
life
Love,
now.
Individual
Queen
work.
of Life. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is your
kinda
life
stole
now.
Our free time. Our free time is this. This is our life at this point.
Yeah. There is no free time in the
There's
Discord.
only Ruby.
There's only Ruby.
I would
guess-
say
I guess
like
for,
probably just like
oh.
check the people that have worked on it. I mean, I know that AK is making his own project. Like what is it?
Bunny Girl. So AK is making
Girl?
his own animated series called Bunny Girl, which you should all go check out.
Yeah.
It's very,
Ooh.
very good. So if you like the fight choreography that was in episode 1 and you like Monty's Dead Fantasy, you will definitely enjoy Bunny Girl. So go have a look at that if you can. I suppose I should also shout out some the Cake Station and OVA 2 if you do enjoy the RWBY styled animation. We made an OVA 2, which is basically the visuals and the style and the love of RWBY's Volume 1 and 2. So if you are interested in that kind of stuff, go and check that out. We made it a while ago.
Yeah, they made
It's very fun.
Ren actually an interesting combatant for once.
Yeah, we did Ren versus Blake, and Blake got her
Really?
fucking ass handed to her. It was great.
I need to watch that. I don't think I've seen that animation yet.
OVA 2 is the best animation, and we were actually the last panel ever at RTX talking about it, so it definitely deserves
awesome.
your love. So go and support that if you can.
Hannah, I
The team
think you were
deserves
going to
it.
say something?
I was gonna say if if you enjoy the music that I worked on for Dust Queen, maybe keep an ear out for some other RWBY projects. Evermaro Cough Cough, maybe among others coming out soon.
Yeah, definitely. I say
Yeah, spread the
knowingly.
love.
Um,
Knowingly.
Kaiser, do you have anything you want to shout out right now?
I'm still working on my newest video. It's mainly in the scripting phase, but it should be done by at least the middle of the month. But right now, my most recent video is Comfy Lilin Doesn't Understand Power Scaling or Freerun, which I put out a couple weeks ago. It's still up on the channel. Go watch it. It's at 19K views right now. Thank y'all so much for supporting it so
Nice.
far. If you want to support me and my channel financially, if you want to, I got a Ko-Fi in my About Me page on my channel, as well as my Patreon.
All right, Twi.
I got nothing. I'm still waiting for my screen replacement to come in. It's kind of late. It should be arriving today. I can't do anything until my laptop screen is fixed.
Well, I was gonna go back and read the Teddy lore, but
Go.
I can't scroll back more than like 20 minutes in the chat. I don't think.
Damn.
Uh-oh. Whoops. I am super sorry about that. I will read out the last one that actually made it through, which was Balinor Uprising Rising Flame Part 9. FWA. That's a new character, Finn. I think it's Finn, actually. Elder Lori has sent me to aid the rebellious stuffies in their darkest hour. I wanted to roast some unicorns. She said no. I wanted to leave the stupid scepter at home. She said no. You guys don't
Oh my
understand
God,
it, but
that's
that
great.
scepter is such a fucking irritating plot device.
Yeah, I hate it so much.
It is. It
Oh,
really
dear.
is.
It is a glorified Magic 8-Ball in the story.
Yeah.
It's like the main character's
And-
like, should I do this? And the scepter's like, well, you have two options. You either do this or you do this. And it's like, that doesn't give me a fucking answer, you useless piece of... Oh, it's wooden.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
would think a talking stick would be pretty fun, but it actually ended up not
Oh,
being
it goes
that.
to sleep. It can go
Yeah,
to
it goes to sleep.
It becomes
The talking stick has got sass.
No,
Wait,
the
it
bad thing, it has like no personality. It's not even like sassy.
That's the worst part of it.
Well, it gets annoyed if you wake it up. So there's that.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
me. Same.
Maybe I'm the stick.
I was
Maybe
gonna
the
say-
stick was the friend who made it along the way.
Maybe Ruby
Yeah, we
is
have
the
those
stick.
those Balinor streams occasionally on JYCT. They're all there in the archives there. If anyone was curious about them, because we're reading an entire book. Technically, like they're like those little chapter books, so they're pretty thin. But we take so long on them. So every book is like a two-parter.
Trust me, it's worth it. There's some bizarre, like we learned that all the
There's a lot of
animals
gems
in the
there.
realm are supposed to be vegetarian, and then in the next book they completely forget that the animals are supposed to be vegetarian, and they never
Yeah, it's
address
so
exactly
funny.
how all the animals are supposed to be vegetarian when you have fucking tigers walking around.
Yeah.
Also,
like,
there
there's
are
all
two-
of these obligate carnivores that are forced by law to only eat plant matter or
Mhm.
or at the very least like insects.
I think insects and fish. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, insects and fish. You can only eat those.
Also,
Uh,
there's two types of black evil horses now.
Oh yeah,
They're not
no,
just
no.
one.
Oh no, there was one type of black evil horse, and now there's a regular black horse. Anyway, Balinor Uprising, Rising Flames, Part 10. PAF. I don't remember who PAF is. Pulling reinforcements the provinces was not an easy decision, but more regiments couldn't be pulled together on short notice, and letting Stuffington fall was not an option. Pikachu Spartan says giving Ren a Pak Mei / Wing Chun inspired fighting style would have been cool. Maybe even a bit of Baji Quan. I'm going to nod and pretend like I know what any of those are.
I recognize Baji Quan and Wushu a little bit, not the first one that was named.
But yeah, the last thing worth noting is Fixing Ruby Volume 7 starts up this week. Friday noon is going to be the big release date for it. Who knows? Maybe some work from some other people that were here today may show up. Just wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But yeah, the very excited. I didn't say it in the video. I probably should have said it in the video. We're aiming for weekly releases, but I don't know if we'll be able to meet them. The editing has been brutal this volume, so
Oh, I
Famous
would
last
imagine.
words.
Yeah.
This is one of the bigger ones yet.
I've had to make so many backgrounds from scratch, and they look so jank. Have you ever thought that what Atlas's cafeteria looks like? I have.
Oh dear.
It's
Lord.
very white.
No, you gotta use white. Okay, you gotta use the H for emphasis.
White.
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 All right, but
White
yes,
cafeteria.
everyone look forward to that. Subscribe and you support the channel, and of course, as everyone already said, support the Grimm Tidings crew and all of Dust Queen. I look forward to the future of this series. I look forward to having more lines in it. Whenever that happens.
Whenever that happens, 7 years in the
Whenever that
future.
Yep. I'll be an old man Roman. But yes, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll catch you all on the flip side.
See you
Goodbye.
all around.